What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Knicks Live. I'm your host, Troy, and you could be anywhere in the world this evening, but you chose to be here with me, and I truly appreciate that because we have so much Knicks content to cover today, and as you know, with Knicks Live, as we always do, we always have a very special guest with us, a always content creator that always comes on the show, talks about their brand, talks about their vision, and helps us break down the Knicks and everything like that. Today, we're going to be talking about so many different type of topics. We're going to be talking about Tom Thibodeau potentially expanding that rotation. That rotation, by the way, got a little bit deeper. The Knicks just signed Jacob Toppin to a two-way contract. Well, essentially just extended that qualifying offer to him. Either way, though, he takes that final two-way spot. We're going to be talking about the roster. We're going to be talking about Julius Randle. We're going to be talking about Tom Thibodeau. We're going to be talking about Jalen Brunson, the team, who has the most to prove next season. Even more than that, what is success defined for the Knicks? What I'm basically talking about, is it a championship or bust situation? That's what we're going to have to focus on, and that's what we're going to have to look at. But without further ado, like we always do, and like we always work out here with Knicks Live, let's go to the content creator that I have as my very special guest today. Now, some of you guys may know him, especially if you follow me or follow anybody on Knicks Twitter, as we'll call him today, or X if you want to call it that app. Now, this guy, he creates merch, as do I. He's on YouTube. He's on all the social platforms. And if you Google Knicks Podcast right now, and I'm not ashamed to admit this, he would be one of the top tier podcasts to listen to right now. He's just getting into the YouTube game, but he's about to dominate that as well, too. My brother, one of my favorite content creators out there today, my guy, State. State, what's going on, brother? How you feeling? How you doing? Welcome to Knicks Live, brother. How you doing?
What's up, man? What's up, man? I'm feeling good. Finally. it's been a long time. But you know I'm here, man. What's up, man? It feels good, man. How you doing, man?
Hey, listen.
Today.
Yeah, listen, man. We have a full schedule to talk about in terms of Knicks stuff. And I know, first of all, shout out to the chat. I see everybody, Darlene, Janole, Tito. I see all you guys in there. We're going to get to the chat gang a little bit later, and we're going to go through all of that. We're going to go through the topics and make sure we get through all the things that you want to talk about. Now, obviously, everybody who's here, everybody who's in this chat or watching the playback, shout out to the playback gang as well, too, if you're watching that. Anybody who's watching this right now has the same exact mindset with this Knicks team, or at least most of us think that we do. We think that we're moving into a team that has championship aspirations. At least that's the roster construction. We're going to talk about all of that because we have all of this time to do that. But a lot of the time, what gets lost in the shuffle state, and we talked about this off air as well, too, is the need to help other content creators. And the reason that Knicks Live is even something that I wanted to start is because I said it even from day one before I had the platform. I said it. When I got a platform and it was large enough and I created it, I was going to create a show to bring other people on the show to help build up their platform. Because I'm all about sharing. I'm all about helping other people build. Because at the end of the day, if you can help other people, you're going to help yourself and you're going to help grow the community. That's what it's all about, to give others things to look at. Now, a lot of people may not know you on the YouTube side. People on the YouTube side right now, though, they're looking up, they're seeing the graphic on screen. Obviously, you can follow State from Harlem. That's what you see on all the social platforms. It's at Be More Like State. You see him right there. Please get this man followers up. It's a criminal offense that this man does not have more followers. And the subscribers on YouTube, also a criminal offense. This guy definitely needs to have more subscribers. He loves the Knicks with a passion. He loves them in his own way, in his own right. And at things at the end of the day, that's what you want from other content creators. But State, I want to throw it to you real quick because I don't think people ever get a chance to really hear about you, why you did the show in the first place, your vision, and where you're looking to take it. And obviously, we can go into the merch in a little bit later, but I just wanted to hear from you. What's the vision with State of the New York Knicks podcast?
It's crazy. It started back since like in my early teenage years. I always wanted to talk about sports. Sports was always like a love for me. When I went to college, my father sent me upstate and he made me do business administration. I was so mad at him about that because I wanted to do something with sports. I wanted to do sports therapy, journalism. I wanted to write. me and my cousin, we always had arguments and debates about sports. My cousin is a lifelong Ravens fan. My cousin Benjamin, my other cousin Darren, aka DP, Foster Projects. He's a guy who watched sports all his life too. Like those two right there, like got me into sports. But we always used to argue and stuff. And then my friend Calvin, a couple of years later, I met Cal in ninth grade in high school. And he's a guy like we always used to argue sports and stuff like that. Play 2K together. He's from 118th and Fifth Avenue in Harlem. And one day, he hit me up. He's like, "Yo, let's start a podcast." And he hit me up in this was like 2016. And like in 2016, I was coming off a year in 2015 where like I didn't work the whole year. I was wild depressed. I was smoking Black and Miles every day. I was going to the library, bro. And I was in the library every day, like all day, looking for jobs and shit, bro. Like I was bad broke, bro. Like I was going through it, bro. Like I was 25 and shit. Like I didn't know what to do. You get what I'm saying? And 2016 hit, and through the grace of God, I got this little gig with the hospital thing, and then Calvin asked me to do this podcast. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I had to find an app, right? I found Anchor app, and Anchor app, it allowed you to record your own podcast. So I'm like, all right, cool, no problem. So me and Cal, we did like the first like 2-3 pods, and it was like some Knicks Lakers thing. And then I did another audio, a podcast audio on Anchor app, and it was a guy named I forgot his name, but he went to SUNY Dell High with me, and he was a Nets fan, so it was like Knicks versus Nets, and then he stopped doing it. Me, I just kept doing it because I just genuinely like to talk basketball, like I like to talk sports, and then the Knicks at the time, I'm like, yo, you know what? I love this team. I'm a Knicks fan. Let me talk about the Knicks. I'm not fighting because I'm not too far. So I'm like, all right, cool. So let me talk about the Knicks, right? And that's the police officer shit that Tony was talking about. Tony crazy. So, I was like, yo, let me just continue to talk about the Knicks and do my thing and continue going with this. And mind you, like the Knicks, watching the Knicks all my life, through 2000 to 2010, I believe the Knicks only made the playoffs twice, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was twice. We got swept by the Nets one time when we went to the playoffs.
All right. You don't gotta relive history here.
No, I don't. But it was like, I just felt like, start the podcast. Excuse my language, but F what Cal doing, F what he doing. I'm gonna just keep it going. I like doing this. I like what the Knicks are doing right now. Like I like Frank Ntilikina. I like what this guy's doing. I like what the other guys are doing. I like Enes Kanter. Like I was company manning. So I kept going. I kept going. Started putting my all into it. My mother, then she was like, yo, she heard me one day talking into my phone, and she was like, oh, you doing a podcast? I'm like, yeah. She was like, oh, keep going, son. So I just started doing it. This is the love of my life. I love doing it. I love what the Knicks are doing. The Knicks has created a great culture, and the Knicks inspired me to keep going. My father, he's seen my first live stream on YouTube. And after I was done, he came in and he said, yo, great YouTube live stream, son. Like what you're doing, keep it going. And that's what gave me the power, man. Knicks fans too, man, through the grace of God, of Facebook. I started my podcast audios with a guy from Australia, bro. Like I had a guy from Australia. Shout out to my guy. I forgot his name. It's been so many podcasts ago. But I love this, bro. It's been that good. My fault, I'm rambling, but
hey, listen. I wanted to give you the time.
I love it, bro.
I know. That's why I wanted to give. Hey, listen. That's why I wanted to give you the time. And shout out to the chat as well too. I see Niche saying big up to Troy and State. Appreciate you, Niche. Appreciate all the hearts as well too. Like I said, we're gonna get into the Knicks stuff. I promise you. And we're gonna get there a little bit. And I promise you, the debates between me and State. If you haven't heard me and State talk, we're friendly now because we have respect for each other. But when it comes to basketball, we don't really see things eye to eye. And that's actually why I love having people like that on the show, because the disagreement grows everybody's knowledge. We're going to see that in a little bit. So I promise you guys, you guys are waiting for that fiery debate. It's coming, and it's coming real soon. But I want to go ahead and give State the platform once again, just to go ahead and talk about the other things he's doing, because he didn't mention his platform Say the New York Knicks podcast, one of the longest podcasts about the Knicks right now going, that's still active, mind you, that has episodes coming out basically every week. So you can find that on basically Spotify, bro. Apple Podcasts, everywhere you get your pods, you'll be able to get State stuff. So make sure you're subscribed to his channel and you're giving him that love as well too. One thing I want to mention though, State does also do the merch, and I help him with some of that merch as well too. I give him some of the graphic designs to help his crazy ideas find the life. And sometimes he gets them and he does a lot of the merch. So you see me, I'm wearing some of his merch right now. As you can see, he has a DiVincenzo as Scarface. So I got the State merch on. If you want the State merch as well too, make sure you go to his Twitter. All of his links are over there. You got Linktree on top of it. You click that, you go to his website, his store, everywhere. You can go to his Printify and get all the merch that he has. And I promise you, it's stuff that's going to keep you warm, keep you safe, but more importantly, make you look good. And at the end of the day, that's what you want merch for. That's why I got my merch. That's why he got his merch. So make sure you do that. State, any other thing you want to tell the audience about the merch you're going to have coming up? Anything you want to just speak out on that before we just talk about the Knicks? Anything real quick?
No, the merch, man. Shout out to my guy Mike, man. My guy Mike, his mom's passed away about a week ago, 2 weeks ago. She passed away through cancer. Mike is a guy. If I gave you merch before and it got the unseen on it, you see him, SNYK Unseen. He's the guy that you don't see. That's why it's called Unseen. And shouts to Mama Mike Davis, mom's, man, Miss Green, man, RIP. The merch I did is just me being an artist when I was younger. I watch anime, I watch Marvel, I love Batman. I just love doing art, bro. I love it, bro. It's so fun to do, bro. Like, I got something right in the back here. I wouldn't leave. What is this? I wouldn't leave NY to go to heaven. I love art, bro, and I've always had that, that drive. So, I got stuff very affordable too. I want to make sure people know that I'm not trying to, beat you over the head, sneakers for $60. And I do this for the love. Like, I give stuff away, and I hope that fans see that, man. You gotta want to do it for the love, man. I do this for the love. I love everything I do. And I'm pretty sure, like, you're a person that love what you do. This is why I hit you up for your graphics. This is why we got this relationship when it comes to being an artist. Like, I think everything is about being a great artist, bro.
Yep.
When you have a passion, you have a vision, and you have a person who you can bounce that vision off of, it makes it easier. It makes it easier, bro. So, man, the new merch coming. We got some jackets coming.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna make sure I get you one. Shouts to CP the artist. He sent me a nice little icon. Man, we gonna have fun with the merch, man. It's about, we all having fun with the merch, man. Shouts to Knicks players too, because they seeing the hard work that we all putting in. They liking tweets. They've been interacting with us this summer too, man.
Yeah,
so
yes.
Really appreciate the Knicks players, man. They got us on their pod, and I seen the roommates. They shared your tweet. They shared my tweet. Yep. That feels good, man. They shared Jay's tweet. Yep. They like Papa Left's tweet. Yep. That feels good as a fan. Mm-hmm. That makes us, like, people like me and you, work even harder. Like, every day I'm coming out with something.
Yep. the motivation when you see your work get some type of credit, some type of acknowledgement, it means a lot. Because to start off content creation, you don't get paid to do it. You got to work really hard to kind of throw your hat in the ring and kind of see what happens afterwards. The work obviously defines where you go, but work can only take you so far sometimes. Sometimes you need to have it. You need to have something. And that something is hard to get, hard to find, hard to define, hard to develop. But once you have it in the right space and you know how to use it the right way, I think it can work magic for you. But what I want to do now, because I see a lot of people in the chat, I know a lot of people want to hear us talk Knicks. They want to hear the battle. They want to hear the back and forth. We have a lot of topics to talk about today. And, some of the topics, we talked about before the show, obviously. I sent you a list. That list is not changed, but it's altered a little bit because, shout out to our guy, Ian Bagley. He dropped an article recently, and everybody's watching, just so you guys know, I will be doing some videos based on what he reported in that article individually on the channel. I believe I'll do those videos a little bit later on tonight or tomorrow for the rest of the YouTube, so make sure you check that out. But he dropped an article where he was talking about some updates about Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson, Jalen Brunson, their injury updates and statuses. what the Knicks plan to do potentially with the MLE and all of those things and potential other things like that too. So we're going to potentially cover that. But one of the things I want to talk about, it's the main topic of the space. I think everybody already sees it. It's right there in the thumbnail. Tom Thibodeau and the rotation. Now, one of the main things that a lot of people have discussed is the Knicks. Could they expand that rotation to 10 people? Now, we've seen it before. We've seen a 10-man rotation from the Knicks under Tom Thibodeau. Wasn't even a few years ago. And then we saw him potentially be on that hot seat. Things needed to change. He made a change to 9, and we didn't really see it change afterwards. This is exactly where we are right now. And because of that, and because it worked, it's not really changing so much. Now, one of the things I wanted to mention is, and this is coming from Bleacher Report here, barring any physiological change in approach from Coach Tom Thibodeau, the Knicks might have more players than rotation spots. Even running with a 9-man rotation, it's going to leave some capable contributors out in the cold. 3 of those bench spots would go to Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo, and probably Miles McBride. There's plenty of congestion at the point guard position. A 4th would be willing to whichever that backup would be for New York, signs to support the often injured starter Mitchell Robinson, basically saying that if anybody else coming off the bench was going to play, it was going to be that backup that's going to support Mitchell Robinson. This guy believes that it's not Precious Achiuwa. You know who doesn't get floor time in that scenario? Tyler Kolek, whom the Knicks traded up to get the number 34 pick, and he is one of the more polished prospects in this rookie class, and he looked the part at Summer League. Still, if there are only 9 openings, he'd have to unseat McBride to claim one. That also excludes campaign, newest Knick, who's just a single season removed from averaging double-digit points and 20-plus minutes. Rock-solid players are going to have to sit out, though, barring any kind of consolidation deal. So what we're talking about here, State, is there a chance that the Knicks could potentially see a rotation that expands to 10? Yes, because we've seen it before, but we've also seen success when he's went to 9. And it's hard to say if you see success at 9 that you want to go backward to experiment and explore what 10 could do. Now, some people believe we could see it now because of the roster we have, the talent level now, right? Because the talent we have on the roster, State, it does support the fact that at least at this point, the Knicks have a bench that Tom Thibodeau may look to more because they're more Thib guys. So in your opinion, based on everything we've heard, the roster we have right now, the moves we've made, do you think Tom Thibodeau expands that rotation to 10?
Yo, he has no choice, bro. Let's. I watched the playoff series, and I looked at my phone, and I was looking at like stats from previous playoff series. There was a playoff series where he played 10 people, where multiple people played 20-plus minutes in that playoff series.
Right.
When the kids was here, RJ Barrett and Grimes and all of those guys, but that's neither here or there. Thomas Thibodeau going to have to find a way to manage these guys' minutes this season. I demand that man to play 10 guys. I demand him. He has to. He has to.
Wait. So let me. I don't mean to interrupt you there, State, but I just wanted to ask you. So, because you said he has to, and shout out to the chat. First of all, shout out to the chat. King Deej, I see you, brother. Darlene, thank you so much for always supporting. James, James is a Net fan who always likes to troll my space. James, be careful, James. I'm gonna put you in timeout again. You better be nice to the chat, okay? I appreciate you, James. And we got Carl as well too. All these great people in the chat. Appreciate you guys. But you mentioned something there. You said you demand, and I thought that was a great phrase. You said you demand Tom Thibodeau to play 10. But the thing is, why would you demand it when 9 has worked and 9 has led us to one game away from the ECF, State?
Yeah, I don't really care about 9 right now. I care about the player's health. Paperman is making $200+ million. You got Julius Randle who needs to be re-signed before September. I'm not interested in talking about Julius Randle's contract extension going into September. Resign that man right now. So now that you have Paperman, who was literally hurt, and one of the reasons. Hang on for
a second. For anybody who doesn't follow you, State, they may not know who Paperman is. Can you define who Paperman is, please?
Paperman is OG Anunoby.
Hold on. For everybody who's watching, I do not agree with that nickname that he gave him, but I needed him to explain what the name was so you weren't lost. But please go ahead and talk about OG Anunoby some more.
I was watching Paper Man with my nephew on Disney Plus. And he had papers, bro. Why is he so soft? He one of the main reasons why we lost, bro. Literally, bro. I still can't believe we lost. You know what? Woosah? That's neither here or there. I call him Paper Man because he's always goddamn hurt. And I'm sick of it. You got Julius Randle who's about to make another $100+ million contract, right? Jalen Brunson literally was out there by himself with the other Villanova boys, and we lost Indiana. That can't happen again. Also, Mitchell Robinson, this guy's made of glass. I can't give him no excuses going into next season. I demand that man to play 70 games. It's certain things I could blame Tibbs for. I can't blame Thibodeau for Mitchell Robinson. And now it's time for you to show up. It's time, bro. Because I'm sick of it. I'm sick. It's always injuries. It's always. Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Going back. Yeah, go ahead.
That's because Tibbs is doing stuff like he got to play OG and Anunoby 7 straight games playing 40+ minutes. But at the same time, Leon Rose didn't make a trade. We was dealing with injuries at the same time. So how the hell I'm going to tell Thomas Thibodeau to not play OG 40+ minutes, but we don't got the necessary horses. This season, we got the horses. No excuses. We got 5+ players who shot over 35% from 3. You got Deuce McBride, who's one of the best 3-point shooters on the Knicks last season. It's no way how Tibbs got all his favorites. This his roster he wanted. And he doesn't play 10. He got to play 10. He got to play 10. He got it, man. Yo,
you say he got to, but like, let me ask you this: did he have to play 10 last year?
Yes,
but did he?
He did not.
So what makes you think that this year he will? What's the difference?
We got a lot more talent. We got a lot of talent here, bro. We got a lot more talent, bro. We got a good roster, bro. It's one of the best rosters in Knicks history.
Agreed.
Why there's no it's go time. It's go time. I'm not trying to hear like excuses no more. I want to see a fun, functional offense, but I want to see these guys. I want to see Thomas Thibodeau like play 10 guys. It's gonna be helpful for the Knicks. Like you gotta chill on October, November, December, bro. Like March, April, May, March, start to ramp it up. You know what I'm saying? Like not October. You got bodies now. If Mikal get hurt, God forbid, knock on wood, you got OG. OG get hurt, you got Mikal. You don't got Mikal, you got Pacone dead. I'm pretty sure Tibbs drafted him, so I know he gonna play him.
They're gonna kill you in the comments. It's Pacome Dadier. You have to say Dadier. Pacome Dadier.
Let me call him that, man. That's how I remember his name, man.
All right. All right. I'm sorry if you're watching this, Pacome. I tried. But listen, State, you make great points, and I agree. I think for health purposes, Tom Thibodeau must play 10. And I think that the 10th guy should always switch depending on who you're playing. Because you have a lot of guys who can potentially fit that 10th role. Some nights it might be or make more sense for Cam to play that, or maybe a Kolek to play that, or maybe Cam,
real quick, my fault, I don't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
If Cam Payne is playing and Tyler Kolek, that means a nuclear bomb dropped on the Knicks. I don't need to see none of those two. I don't need to see them play.
Whoa, so you don't want to see them play in the 10-man?
Something catastrophic happened. No, in a 10-man, let's go through the star 5. The star 5, we know the star 5 already. Okay, Precious is playing, Josh Hart playing, Dante playing, Deuce McBride is playing.
It's 9.
I want to see I want to see Pacome Diadet or one of those guys, Jericho Sims.
You think
I want to see one of those guys get that 10th spot.
So you think for the 10th spot, right? You think it's realistic to think that yes. Thibodeau would play Pacome over like a Kolek or a Cam?
No, I throw this at you. Jericho Sims going to play exclusively 15 minutes plus per game. From what I've been reading and stuff that I've been seeing, Jericho Sims is going to be the backup center. Knicks management don't want to go small like that.
What do you mean he's going to be the backup center? Where did you even hear that? Do you understand that Fred Katz called this man an emergency situational rotational player? Try to say that 5 times fast. See if you can say it. Emergency situational rotational player. What even is that? That sounds like a player you don't play unless you're hurt in every single manner. He's not playing. He's not backup.
I want you to clip this. It's so real. I put my stock and I put my ego behind this. What I'm about to say right now, Jericho Sims is going to be one of the main factors in the next season. I'm gonna stamp that. I'm telling you, you're gonna have.
You're out of your mind. You're not gonna stand on that. You just said Jericho Sims is gonna be a major factor.
If I said to you, Deuce McBride to shoot 40% last summer, what would you say to me? You'll be saying that right now.
I tell you one thing. Deuce at least used to shoot threes, and I would think it's probable. What you're saying is impossible. You need minutes to do that. He's not going to get enough minutes to do that.
Sims didn't start games and we won.
Let me ask you something. When he had a chance to play Jericho or Achua as the backup, who got the minutes?
I said Preston's going to play.
Jericho Sims is not going to get. You think Jericho is going to be the 10th man?
Preston's going to be the backup 4. Jericho going to be the backup 5.
You think no way it's not going to happen. Why are the Knicks looking for backups then? Explain it to me.
A backup center?
Why are they looking for one? Yeah.
That's a smoke screen.
It's a smoke screen for who? It's just free agents.
I would have said that to you last year about Deuce McBride. I swear to God, I would have said that to you.
It doesn't make sense. It's not even the same. It's not the same. You're talking about Deuce shooting and Jericho Sims actually making an impact when he's not going to get the time to make it. Where is he going to get the impact? He's not going to play.
You have to play him.
Where? He's not going to get time. He's not playing backup center. They don't need Achua. They're not going to look that hard for a backup and add Achua and all the reports indicating that they're going to make a trade for a center at the trade deadline if you trust who you have.
That's cap. I believe in Jericho Sims. You talking poppycock nonsense. I'm not only because the only reason why I got so much confidence in what I'm saying is because you got to go off history, right? History tells me Thibodeau's a goddamn maniac. So he's going to overplay guys if you don't have enough guys he trusts. Jericho Sims been here for 3-4 years.
And what has he done?
I know it.
So what is? So where's the magic? I'm trying to understand. Where is the magic coming from this year? Where is he going? Why does it change? Why is it changing for him?
Fact or fiction? Jericho Sims wasn't starting some of these games and regular season games that we won.
He did. He forced, but yeah, he did. And that was probably before the Achua trade, right? Was it not before the Achua trade? I probably was, right?
So why Precious? And this is hypothetically speaking. Why Precious? If he's shooting at a high clip from 3, why is Precious not your backup 4 and Sims not your backup 5? That tells me you don't got belief in Sims then.
I definitely don't. I definitely don't. But he's never given me a reason to believe in him. What belief? First of all,
games.
His court awareness is one of the worst on the team.
So what?
So what? So why would you give somebody minutes who has that bad a court awareness and he's situational at best?
Can I put context behind that?
Go ahead.
The only reason why I said so what is because that's his first time in a situation like that when he wasn't supposed to be counted on to be in that situation to begin with. Now he was in that situation. So I'm going into the season. Oh, he already learned his lesson. You know what I'm saying? I'm going into the season with utmost confidence. I'm not talking about a backup center no more. I got one already. So
let me ask you this then. If they use the MLE, which they still have, right? They have an open roster spot, which they still have.
Wow.
The reports are stating that they are looking at backup bigs.
Why?
Because they need a backup big. They don't trust who they have.
I trust.
You may trust who we have, but they don't.
Smoke screen.
So for who?
Smoke screen.
For who? Who is when you say smoke screen, you got to use it for someone. Who is it for?
I don't know. Leverage
then that's why it don't make sense. You can't do a smoke screen for yourself.
It'll make sense to get somebody to try to take less than what they're worth. This is why they can't get Yabusele and one of those guys off the French team, because they're at an impasse about how much money they need to pay.
It wasn't Yabusele, by the way. It was Lestort.
A guy like that.
But
you know what I'm saying.
I knew who you meant, but I had to make sure I had to clarify it real quick because we going back and forth, and I had to make sure I did that. But shout out to the chat. Wow, we're having a lot of people comment and come in, and a lot of people are liking what we're talking about here. Parrish says in the chat, I want to bring up the chat real quick. Parrish says, Troy is so stuck on yesterday. Sims has really good starting record when he was healthy. Yes, he was healthy. Parrish, I'm not saying you're wrong. What I am saying, though, State, and what I do want to post to the chat is, are we going to just forget that Tom Thibodeau will not play him for minutes to do what you want him to do? I'm not saying he's not capable. People forget and oftentimes misquote me. I'm not saying Sims isn't capable of doing those things, and he obviously has his missteps. He has his missteps. I was specific. He's not going to get the time to do it. You want him to have a major impact. Can he have a major impact in less than 10 minutes in garbage time? Because I don't think he can.
Yes.
You think somebody can have an impact in garbage time in 10 minutes?
No. I think somebody can have impact in 10 minutes. Yes.
In garbage time? Because that's all he's going to play. He's not playing legitimate time.
Recap. We're in championship mode. 10 minutes in a playoff game can win you a playoff game. That is a fact. That is a fact. I think that, yes, Sims, give me 10, 15 minutes. Yes. Yeah, I'm not putting Precious as the backup center.
You've seen it. You've seen it already. I don't understand. We've seen it. And you're going to see it again this year. Let me tell you something. If you don't play Precious at the 5, then if you sign him to trade him, it's worthless because you need to up his value. And you can't play him about you. How many minutes is he going to see behind him? How much time did Obi see?
Injury. What are you talking about?
He's not going to be ready to start. He's going to miss the start of the season?
Oh, my God. Why is Randall playing more than 33 minutes in a
He's Julius Randle. You think he's not going to play 30-plus minutes a night? Where are you on?
He's 30. He's coming off 2 season injuries.
You act like he's not going to play the minutes he has.
No, that's nonsense.
What makes you... He came off an injury before, right? Still played the same amount of minutes. Where are you getting that he's going to magically lose minutes?
It happened again. It happened again. It literally, the man got 2 season-ending injuries, bro. Back-to-back seasons. You damn right I want him to play at least 30 minutes a game. I don't need to see more. Playoff time, play him 40 minutes plus. Not really coming off a shoulder injury. Bro.
I agree with you with the I agree with you with the injuries. What I'm saying, we're not talking about that, Ryan. We're talking about his opportunity to showcase ability. If we're talking about expanding, shout out to the whole chat, everybody who's watching right now. I see everybody's going off like me in State, so I really appreciate you guys. We're gonna go more depth to the chat gang in a little bit, but just going back to it again, like I said. The way we came here was expanding the rotation. Now, I think they are going to expand the rotation because of the guys that Thibs has on the roster right now. But I do not think that Jericho Sims is going to be the byproduct of us expanding that rotation. It's going to go to either Cam or Kolek. That's the only thing that's going to make sense. Why not? Why would it go to Sims? Why would it magically go there? It's never gone there. You're saying something that's going to happen that's never happened. I'm telling you something that I've told you has happened before.
It's as simple as this. If Tibbs want to have me crash out during the regular season and he want guys to get hurt, continue to play these guys outside of their position. Continue to play Precious at the backup 5. Play Deuce at the backup 2. That dumb nonsense. I don't want to watch that, bro. That's why, recap, I understand you right now. I don't want to see that, bro. Because I don't want to see 6 season-ending injuries no more. I don't want guys to play out of their position for majority of the whole season. So when it comes to the bench, I want Josh Hart. He's the backup 3. Dante, he's the backup 2. Deuce is the backup 1. I trust Deuce. Precious is the backup 4. Sims is the backup 5. Now, preseason comes. If somebody plays like butt cheeks, then we can have the conversation about him playing those other guys, and you can talk to me about playing Kolick or Campaign or one of those guys. They shoot.
Why is preseason going to be the level? Because I could easily say somebody who doesn't do good in preseason could easily have a good regular season. Now I'm trying to back up Sims here, but you could definitely do that as well. Look, all I'm trying to say, and shout out to the chat, shout out to Khadiza Lopa, who says, I would rather trade Sims than play him. Shout out to the chat gang for that. I agree with you because they're not going to play him anyways. He's not going to get the opportunity. That's all I'm trying to say. But I want to go to another piece here as well too from Bleacher Report. They continue here by saying the New York Knicks will either run a 9-man or 10-man rotation in the upcoming season, but it remains to be seen whether there will be a spot for rookie point guard Tyler Kolick. Kolick impressed the Knicks at Summer League, but that doesn't necessarily mean he will be in the rotation for the Knicks next season. Even running with a 9-man rotation will leave some capable contributors out in the cold. 3 of those bench spots would go to Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo, and probably Miles McBride. Though there's a congestion at the guard position. A 4th would belong to whichever backup big New York signs to support the often injured Mitchell Robinson. That's according to Zach Buckley of Bleacher Report. He also mentions Tyler Kolick, how he may not fit. They also mentioned something that I want to talk about. Now, you kind of mentioned it, but not exactly. When we talked about going to the bench, right? Now, this doesn't relate to the rotations much, so we're going to go away from that topic a little bit. We're going to go to the swap from shooting guard. So now you have Mikal starting, right? That's likely what you're going to have there.
Correct.
The swap is going to be who? Dante, no?
For Mikal, yeah.
So according to Bleacher Report, at some point, they agree with this as well, too. In the first quarter, assuming an injury or foul trouble don't demand something different, the Knicks head coach Tom Thibodeau's first substitution should be bringing in DiVincenzo for Bridges, because then hypothetically, the Knicks can use a bench lineup that would feature McBride, Bridges, DiVincenzo, Hart, and whatever backup center they want to utilize at that point in time. Now, for you, what do you say to utilizing a lineup like that, where in this situation, they swap out early a DiVincenzo for Bridges, so that way Bridges can run with the bench unit? What do you think about that?
Man, I want them to go more sexy with it. Me personally, like don't be stingy. Let Brunson and Mikal go to the bench first.
So you rather sub both?
Rather sub both, right?
Okay.
Keep OG and Randall out there to about, I say, the 3-minute mark. Then you bring in your 2 new subs, right? Or you could take out Mitchell Robinson because he's injury prone, and you want to make sure that Mitchell Robinson is just always healthy. Like Mitchell Robinson is, I'm sick of it with Mitchell Robinson. So maybe you take out Mitchell Robinson at about the 6-minute mark. You slide Randall over to the 5, or you bring in Precious Achiuwa at the 4. Or bring in Precious Achiuwa at the backup 5. But see, that's the conundrum, Recap. And this goes to where Thomas Thibodeau is going to have to figure this out. Because if I'm thinking about so many lineups when it gets to Julius Randle at the 5, and we all know Luke Walton, and I do a lot of research myself. Like Luke Walton was playing Julius Randle at the 5, 51% at the time when he was on the LA Lakers. There's even articles right now, old articles of the LA Lakers where Julius Randle, oh, hey, we found our starting 5, Julius Randle. Oh, wow. So if that's the case, right, why can't Tibbs be a little more modern? Because at some point, the Knicks, and we're going to talk about the championship busting, but we're one of the best teams in the league. And for you to be a Hall of Fame coach that Thomas Thibodeau is, you need to be able to mix it up. And me personally, maybe you bring, like you say, you take out Mikal first, but I would like for them to take out Mikal and Jalen Brunson, right? And then you bring in Deuce McBride, you bring in Dante DiVincenzo, and then now you're running the offense through Julius Randle and OG Anunoby, right? You probably take out Mitchell Robinson at that point. But this guy, like Mitchell Robinson, got to hold up his end of the bargain at this point. Like he can't be like a guy who just does not like be healthy, bro. It's so many variables to the season recap. Like it's but Thibodeau at the end of the day, I like what you said. Take out Mikal first, bring in Dante DiVincenzo. I think that's a great first sub. But I would like for them to take out Mikal and Jalen Brunson at the same time.
Right.
You bring back in Jalen Brunson and Mikal a little bit early, or you could even bring back in Mikal a little bit earlier than Jalen Brunson and give Jalen Brunson a rest. He just came off a season when he averaged 28 and seven assists. Was very dominant at his position. He's Jalen Iverson, so you want to make sure he's also a guy who gets his proper rest. You want to give him a little break on the ball, right? Julius Randle had a 28 usage rate last season. Jalen Brunson had a 28 usage rate last season. And you want to see more sharing of the game under Thomas Thibodeau.
Right.
My fault, recap. I'm rambling.
No, you're good. You're good.
It's so many things coming to my mind, like the whole assist thing that I'll be talking to you about. Assists per game.
Mm-hmm.
He bottom 5 in the league past 4 years under Thomas Thibodeau. Assist total, bottom 5. Assist percentage, bottom 5. I want to see something fun going into this season. So mix it up. I like that Mikal for the Dante first sub though. That's elite right there.
I think that's the sub that you need to make to kind of get your bench right. Because I think that Mikal is how OG is the constant on defense for the starting unit? I would think that they need a constant for the bench unit. And the reason to do the early swap with Dante for Bridges is to allow Bridges to have that rest to be that constant for the bench. So that way you can switch in between them. And I think that's what their plan is. And shout out to Jay from East New York, our guy on Twitter as well too. He says, Knicks need a Walker Kessler, a shooting big man who can do Thibs big man things. You see, there's the thing though, and he mentioned something that's it's not questionable. But let me ask you something. When you think of big man under Tom Thibodeau, do you think of shooting big man?
No, not at all. I'm at the point where
right.
You notice on Twitter, I haven't complained about certain things no more, bro.
Oh man.
After Thibodeau re-signed,
Yeah, we're gonna get to him. He's one of the topics. Save your take on Thibodeau because I gotta wait.
I
gotta wait.
It's just after he re-signed, I just conform to the. I know what I'm gonna get. But can he switch it up? I gotta challenge him on that?
So Jay says Thibs needs to change his ways with that. I agree with him. I think especially with the big men that we're gonna have is you're gonna have a dominant defensive center like Mitchell Robinson starting. I think you can. I'm not saying it's okay, but you can get somebody who's a little bit better on offense and not as good on defense as a backup. I wouldn't mind that. And if he can shoot and he can space the floor, I'd love to see what that lineup can do for a stretch. I'm not saying you play it for the whole quarter. But, you can see what it looks like. I agree with Jay to an extent. I think that if you're looking at what the Knicks need, you also need somebody else who can space the floor, but also space it in a way that pulls out the shot blocker. We don't really have that to an extent right now. Randle used to be that for us in a way.
Play Randle at the 5. Play OG at the 5. Play Mikal at the 5.
One last thing before we go to the chat gang. We will go to the chat gang right after this. The Randle at the 5 thing. Now, I pushed back against that. My argument about Randle at the 5 is that I don't think that you can teach defensive or any type of instincts at a center position to somebody that doesn't really play that position. Now, again, I'm not saying he can't play it. He can. We've seen it before. It doesn't mean he's good at it. Just like Josh Hart. He can play the 4. Doesn't mean that he should. Even though he's probably had some success at it in certain games, it doesn't mean he should. So that's my argument to that. To that, you say what? Oh, you're muted, State. You're muted.
My fault. Like,
You're good.
I don't like it really. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like it really. It sounds like injury to me. Like as you was talking, I was just thinking about injuries. Like, I don't mean to be so negative, but short spurts, 3-4 minute spurts. Don't do it for the whole game. I can live with it. Right? You know what I'm saying? I can live with it. And I understand your gripes about Julius Randle playing the 5. He's not a shot blocker. I don't believe Julius Randle has ever averaged above 0.8 blocks per game in a season. I believe Julius Randle had a season where he had less blocks than Kevin Knox in a whole NBA season while playing 1,000 more minutes. But there was the COVID season where Julius Randle was top 3 in defensive plus minus. So, Josh Hart at the 4.
You just complained about people not being in the positions you want them to be in. Now you're telling me that you're okay with it now if it means this happens? You got to pick something. You got to pick one way.
It depends on how they play, bro, and it depends on the matchup, bro. Like, you can't do it to every team.
Okay, let me ask you this then. So even eliminate that. Do you see Thibodeau doing that?
If you want to win a championship.
I didn't ask you that. I asked you if you see Tom Thibodeau doing that.
I see him doing it next season. I see him switching it up.
Chat gang, everybody in the chat, let me know if you think that Tom Thibodeau would play Julius Randle at the 5 for any duration or any stretch. Leave a comment below. Let me know why.
He should. Like there's people who want to trade Julius Randle for a guy like Jaren Jackson Jr. And I can understand why you want to do that because he could block, he could protect the rim, and he could also shoot threes. But there has to be something in Julius Randle's mind that clicks where he has to change the way he plays the game of basketball with this New York Knicks team. It's a change of style of play. So at this point, like, it's on him and it's also on Thomas Thibodeau. Can you switch it up? I'm sick of seeing the ISO offense, bro. I swear to God, if I see Jalen Brunson take one pick and roll and shoot the ball, I'm gonna crash out on the timeline, bro. I don't want to see certain things no more. So when it comes to Randle and the bench, the offense, and everything, yeah, Randle can play the 5. Luke Walton played them at the 5, like I said. New Orleans played them at the 5, like I said. Can you be a little more modern, bro? I watched Jason Tatum in the finals play the 5, bro. Like, Thibodeau got to stop being a dummy, bro. I'm sick of it, bro. I watched Goosebumps. One of my favorite dummies is Slappy. You remember Slappy from Goosebumps? You know, the dog that beat up the other dogs? He beat up the other dogs. I remember Slappy. I love Slappy, right? Thibodeau, don't be Slappy, okay?
Oh, my goodness.
Enough. You're not gonna play Mitchell Robinson 5 minutes. The last 5 minutes of a playoff game, Randle needs to be the 5. If he's playing like garbage, give me OG at the 5. You need a small ball lineup, bro. Porzingis is not in the game in the last 5 minutes of a playoff game if he's not playing himself, bro. They're going small, bro. I'm looking at the Celtics, bro. I'm sick of it.
I don't mind a few stretches of Randle at the 5, but it'd have to be warranted. I don't know when it would be warranted, and I don't even know if Tom Thibodeau would even do it. Like I said, for me, it's a defensive instinct that you can't teach Randle. He can play it, like Hart can play it, but just because they can do something doesn't mean that they should. Let's go to the chat, gang, see what they got to say. They are going off right now. They are loving the show, but 109 concurrent viewers, so that means it's going right now, and everybody else is watching it exclusively on YouTube, so I appreciate you guys. Let's keep up the likes, smash the like button, hit that subscribe button as well too. And announcement for the show, we'll start doing giveaways very, very soon, but only for members. So if you want to be part of the giveaways, it's only going to members. And here's the thing. If there's only about 5 members and I do a giveaway, guess what? Those 5 people are going to be part of that giveaway. So if you want to get part of that as well too, all you have to do is be a member of the Knicks Recap Show at any level. And it costs, I think it's $2.99 to start off as well too. Once you do that, you support the show and you enter in for a chance every month for a giveaway shot for many different things. We're talking about merch. It could be tickets one year. It could be another thing this month. Who knows what it could be? I'm telling you right now, those giveaways, I'm coming. I want to make sure you guys get a lot from them. So definitely check out the membership as well, too. But let's go to the chat, gang, see what you guys have to say. We have Nick Yak in the chat, and he says, wake up, Huckaporty is or will be the backup center out of preseason. I do not agree with that at all. Huckaporty did show good signs in the summer league, but he's still very green. Still needs to learn a lot. Go ahead.
I don't sniff coke.
Oh my gosh.
I don't do hard substance. What's the name for it? Hard substance?
Yeah, or you could just say narcotics. You could just say that too.
I don't do hard narcotics. So no, Huckaporty would never see the time of day, bro.
So he's not.
He's seeing the time of day recap,
right?
In a regular season game, it's Mayday.
Shout out to my guy Tony in the chat. He says, "Let's go, Tony in the building." Hashtag NYKX. Shout out to the community. Shout out to my guy Tony, always showing love. I believe there's a, I'm not mistaken, we're trying to throw a watch party or something like that for one of the October games. I don't know the full details, but it is on the app X. I did retweet it.
Whenever y'all ready, come to the liquor store, man. Whenever y'all ready, Knicks fans, y'all welcome, man. We do watch party.
That's one version. I believe they're going to be doing like one at a place as well too, and I want to do that as well. We're going to be doing a lot of different shows, a lot of different watch parties. I can't wait to see it. But let's continue. I want to see what everybody else got to say in the chat here. Parrish Duggar says there's no such thing as a 4 now. It's a center and a hybrid forwards and guards. What do you say to that?
That's a great take.
Wait, do you agree? Are you agree? I just got to hear you say, whoa. There's no such thing. Oh, we got to pull that back up. Hold on.
No. I throw this at you.
Go ahead.
My cousin Kwasi, because I ain't going to call him his regular name. I call him his Ghanaian name.
Okay.
My cousin Kwasi calls Julius Randle a throwback 4, a below the rim 4 who needs the basketball in his hands to produce, a la like Zach Randolph. Where in today's basketball, you got a guy like Jason Tatum who's moving over from the 3 to the 4 position, who's not traditionally a 4, who's now a 4 in today's NBA. And that's why he would say something like that. And then you round out the 5 with a center who's 7 foot, who can protect the rim, block shots, this, that, and third. So I get it. It's certain 4s who's different. Shet is now going to play the 4 now that Isaiah Hartenstein said, the hell with the Knicks, and he went to OKC. So it depends on. I think it depends on who your 5 is. It depends on who your 5 is. I think Julius Randle will be fine. It's not like him and Mitchell Robinson got like a negative net rating next to each other. I'm cool with it, bro.
Listen, all I'm trying to say is I think that you talk about are there situations where that happens? Of course, we see Denver like that in a way, right? It doesn't mean that's a situation for all teams, and it doesn't mean that's the only recipe for success. Sometimes success depends on certain factors. You said it as well too. There's so many different factors going into each season, depending on what happens and what you can actually think could occur in a season. And with the Knicks, you never know. Shout out to Tony as well too. He says 2 of the best to ever do it. Still Knicks fans, who was my guest on Knicks Live last week, says, what's good, Knicks family? Salute to the chat. Salute to State. Let the instigation begin. What up, Troy? State doesn't instigate everything. Not everything. If you leave him alone for a little bit, he might start something. I won't lie. State, you always find something to get into. I ain't gonna lie. Knicks GM says, I really want to see McCullough. He is the wild card. On tape, that boy looks amazing. You know what? I can't deny it, State. If you've seen our rookie, Kevin McCullough Jr., I know he didn't play anything for Summer League. He got robbed because of the injuries. But if you watch his highlights, especially his defensive plays, I mean, the kid is just like glued to the basketball. He just always where he needs to. If Tyler Kolek is the offensive guy that we saw in the pass first and everything, he looks good like that. I think if you saw McCullough play, you would say the same thing about his defense. What do you say about Kevin McCullough Jr. Yeah.
I swear to God, it's crazy you talking about him. I got an OG from at work, right? Shouts to OG Jermaine, right? We was watching Kevin McCullough highlights. This is how you know we crazy nicknames. We was watching Kevin McCullough highlights, smoking about 3-4 blunts. And he looking at it. Yo, that's Josh Hart right there. Like we like watching highlights and literally for an hour straight, right? And he like, yo, I think he can make the roster. But the one thing that stuck out to me with Kevin McCullough, and I wrote about him on one of my Substacks, the playmaking ability. The playmaking ability is. I'm like, hey, this guy could put the ball on the floor. You go to the rim, you go coast to coast. He had a triple double, when he was in college. Like these are things that I'm not exaggerating. Like, the shooting ability, the low percentage from okay, cool. But I think people, if you're coming to this infrastructure with the Knicks right now, what we got, I think he'll be able to get better. I love his ability though. I think he's a wild card. That's why that 10th spot on the Knicks right now, it like your recap, it's so many things that could determine the championship, bro. Your 8th, 9th, your 10th man might determine the championship because they might win a playoff game for you.
Yep, very true.
In an ideal world, I need one of the kids to take that spot handily. If it was Kevin McCullough Jr., I would understand. If you look at him in college, you look at what he can do.
By the way, 6'8" guard. Just gotta put the 6'8" guys. If anybody didn't, I did a video on him. There's so many highlights on YouTube. But the reason we're talking about him is because of the fact he's a guard who is 6'8" that defends probably one of the best defensive prospects, and I'm including McBride in this, that I've seen. And he's tall. You're talking about Tom. I can't even say. If this kid turns into even anything special, he's going to have a role on this team for a very long time. It's crazy. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Let's not forget that. Very experienced basketball player. I think he was a fifth-year senior, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't remember his exact. I know he was there for a while. I don't know how many years though, but I know he was there for a while. But the thing about McCullough is he's a Thibodeau player. And the Knicks did a very good job of, I think, drafting players that either are Thibodeau players or could become one. The Kolick one, because of his defense, you kind of scratch your head a little bit. But then you see what he does in summer league. You see his passing and his vision. Then you understand the move. And it looks like the Knicks cleaned house in the way that you wanted to see a team do. And I know a lot of people don't say this a lot. And we always hear from a lot of different players, a lot of people that, the Knicks got fleeced from the Mikal Bridges deal. It's one way to look at it, but if you think about it in terms of the picks, if we develop all of these guys that we've drafted and they turn into developmental pieces in the future, I think the Knicks are going to come out ahead in terms of what they've done here, because they look like they're developing the Knicks of the future now and doing something now that we haven't seen before. I've never been alive where they've had a championship window. I've never seen that before. Never in my lifetime. This is the first time the Knicks have ever had a window to win a chip. And that window could extend depending on what the players do. Like you said, there's so many factors to it. So that's the crazy part about it. But I want to say shout out to the chat. I appreciate each and everybody in it. Oh my goodness, you guys are really going off.
Salute.
Yeah, they're going off, man. And they love exactly what we're doing. They love the fact that me and you are doing the space, doing a YouTube live, and it's crazy. We're always on spaces together. But doing a YouTube live and just seeing this interaction. I think a lot of people, when I bring somebody up, right? A lot of people, when I bring up, I don't bring up people who disagree a lot. And that's not by choice. It's just that, sometimes people just see the team that way I do. That's all. Not by choice. But you don't agree a lot. And another thing that we're probably not going to agree on, this is probably going to be one of the best things to talk about right now, especially because we're at the 9 o'clock hour mark right now. So it's 1 hour in, which is perfect timing to go into the next topic we have to go into. So guys, hold on to your hats here, because I'm pretty sure this is going to turn into another fiery debate here. Our next topic for today is which Knick has the most to prove next season. Now, there's a lot of Knicks on that table. I'm going to remove Jalen Brunson because I don't think he has anything to prove anymore given the year he did last year. Now, he can continue to exceed that by all means. If he wants to continue, go ahead and do it. But Jalen Brunson's untouchable for me right now. Now, there's certain people that fit this very, very well. Now, you can give it to a lot of people. I think Mitchell Robinson you can give it to. OG Anunoby you could give it to. I think you could give it to Julius Randle, who I'm pretty sure most people are probably going to give it to, because for some, Julius Randle needs to prove the most, especially when it comes to the postseason. Now, again, I said the most for the season. Now, I'm going to say the season includes the regular season and the. What do you think when it comes to? Well, I think we're having some issues with the YouTube again. Hopefully, we can reconnect. Oh, we're reconnected. Never mind. YouTube always gives us issues, but we're good here. But State, going back to you, man. Like I was saying. So you think so going back to the question. So you think that OG Anunoby has the most to prove next season?
Paper man. Shout out to Paper Man.
Man.
Paper Man is one of the most less durable players I've ever seen. He's made of papers. He's made of blankies. Paper Man is making $212 million. That's the most in New York Knicks history. Paper Man literally is one of the reasons why, my babies is gone. Paper Man is one of the reasons why the Knicks lost to Indiana, because he just can't stay healthy. Paper Man is making more than Jalen Brunson. Paper Man is making $200+ million, and Knicks fans is allowing him to just walk around the city averaging 14 points per game. Paper Man needs to win Defensive Player of the Year. Paper Man needs to be first team all defense. Paper Man needs to play 70+ games. Paper Man needs to be held to a standard that I would like to see. Paper Man needs to have a higher ceiling than what RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly has. Because if Paper Man don't give me nothing of substance within the next few years, I'm gonna be really pissed off with Leon Rose. So I'm gonna give it to Paper Man. You can't make $200+ million and average just 14 points per game. He's a 13 point per game career regular season scorer. The last time the man played 70 games, I don't even know when. You not on the Raptors no more. You're on the New York Knicks, bro. I'm gonna need Paper Man. Paper Man is on him, man. My money's on Paper Man, man. He making too much goddamn money for me to not be on his heels right now. That was egregious how we lost to Indiana, bro. Egregious. Thomas Thibodeau, another one. The only reason why Paper Man got hurt is because Thibodeau had to play him all those minutes, because that's Thibodeau. But then you Leon Rose didn't give us the goddamn roster, and it's like Thibodeau had to play these guys because he had nobody else he trusts on the roster to play. So, OG, man. For me, it's OG, bro. He is making too much money. Oh, $212 million. And that man going to average 14 points next season with no all-star, nothing. Just know he just out there being a role player. I'm supposed to just allow that. Yeah, that's poppycock, man. I ain't trying to hear that, man. OG Anunoby, man. OG Randall certified. He missed the civil rights, though. All he got to do is shoot about 40% from the field in the playoffs. I don't think that's hard to ask from him. Just shoot 40% from the field in the playoffs. Can you at least do that? At least? I mean, you helped us in the playoffs before, but just shoot 40%. But OG is making $200 million, man. Absolutely OG, bro. That guy's he's made of blinkies, like little baby blinkies that was peed on. He's really soft, bro. He is so soft, bro. He is so soft. I'm so sorry, bro. He is so soft, bro. I'm so sick of him, bro. I'm so sick of him, bro. We lost to Andrew Nembhard bomb, bro. The man shoots 40% from both corner threes. Randall was out since January after my birthday. And OG Anunoby still wasn't aggressive, bro. That is crazy to me, bro. He's making $200+ million. You're damn right it's OG Anunoby, bro. You're damn right. Because I think Quickly and RJ got a higher ceiling than him anyway. So he still got to prove me wrong. You're damn right. Paper Man. God damn. Oh, my God.
Did you hear yourself? You said RJ and Emmanuel Quickly have a higher ceiling than OG Anunoby?
Yes, they do. They do.
What have you seen in the years? And you know what? I'm not even trying to do this with the kids, but you know what? What have you even seen in the years we've seen from RJ in half the time? Not even half the time, half a season in OG Anunoby, and the Knicks look like a different team on the entire league. They look different. His plus minus is some of the best in the league. You sound loopy. You sound loopy.
You know about plus minus? What?
You sound loopy. You can walk. You can go for a stroll. It ain't gonna change. You sound loopy. They are a different team when he's on the floor. You needed to pay him. So if you didn't pay him and you let him go to Philly, what does that mean? What happens then? And he signs a max with Philly.
I'm paying him.
So then why do you keep mentioning his contract then? What is that?
Because I feel like, Tony, you could go kick rocks. Okay? I feel like RJ and Quickly both have higher ceilings than OG and Anunoby. When RJ and Quickly is both 26, 27 years old, they will not be averaging 14 points in an NBA season playing less than 50 games. I don't think that for those two. I think they're going to be really good. OG and Anunoby, high-end role player who averaged 13 points for his career is now making $200+ million. At some point, I need him to have some type of accolades, bro. RJ's a better scorer than him. RJ's more reliable than him. Quickly's more reliable than him. At least I know they'll put up a donut in a playoff game because they'll play. I don't care about January, Tony. I had something bad happen to me in January, Tony. I could care less about January, bro. I swear to God, I could care less about January, bro. We lost to Indiana and Andrew Nembhard, bro. Andrew goddamn Nembhard. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? OG averaging 14 points, making $200+ million. What are you talking about? Man.
Are you done? Are you done now? You good? You get it all out? You good now? Can I go? Is it my turn? Can I go? Okay, cool. I'm gonna go now. All right. Paper man, as you like to call him. Go look in the league in NBA history. Look at somebody who's been traded to a team who has a higher plus minus. Oh, you ain't gonna find it. Okay? We look like a different squad when he's on the roster. Of course, you're gonna bring up his points. Bring up his defensive stats. I bet you won't bring up that. I bet you won't bring up one defensive stat because the second that you do, he validates that contract. Oh, and by the way, the Knicks needed to pay him because if they didn't pay him, then they would have made that RJ and Emmanuel Quickly trade make 0 sense. They needed to pay the man. And like you said, he's worth the money because of what he does for this team. You want to call him paper man because he has injuries from time to time? Let's talk about those injuries. Let's go in a little bit in depth because I want to do that if we're going to talk about quote unquote paper man. They were talking about paper man not being in great conditioning. You know what that means? That means he's never been conditioned in the way that Tom Thibodeau wants his players conditioned. And if you're not conditioned well, you are likely going to get injured a lot more. Now, I'm not saying this is going to prevent it 100%, but you're telling me this man coming into camp in the best shape of his career, playing for Tom Thibodeau, that's not going to help him. That's not going to help his career. That's not going to help his games. And you made him take a little bit less than the max. You had him not go into free agency, not walk to the Philadelphia 76ers, which he would have gone to if you not give him that money. And now he's staying with the Knicks. Not only that, he was telling everybody who would listen, I want a bigger offensive role. But he saw what the Knicks were doing and he said, nah, I'm good. I want to stay here. That means he's okay with taking a lesser role if it means winning a championship. And this season, ladies and gentlemen, State and everybody who's listening, this season is going to be defined on sacrifice. If we can sacrifice and we can understand, doesn't matter whose night it is, as long as we're riding the hot hand and making sure we get the W at the end of the night, that's all that matters. OG Anunoby supports that each and every night. You sound crazy calling him Paperman. You sound crazy not acknowledging his defense, what he does for this team, what he did for us in the postseason. And before he got injured and down in the Pacers series, he was having his best game offensively. But we always tend to forget all those things. We don't want to mention that. But let me mention that. You don't want to, so I will. He was worth the money. And you know what? I don't think he has the biggest thing to prove next season. Mitchell Robinson has to prove something. Show me he can stay healthy for a full season. How about that? Let's talk about the real situation, State. Are you worried about OG or are you worried about Mitchell Robinson? Tell me straight.
Personally, so if I was being honest, like the person I'm most worried about when it comes to like the roster is Mitchell Robinson. The only reason why like he worries me the most is because every single season under Thomas Thibodeau, he's always been hurt. But this particular season, specifically for Mitchell Robinson, I can't really blame Thomas Thibodeau no more on Mitchell Robinson's injuries. He has to come in shape, bro. He has to eat better. He has to sleep better. He has to live his life better. He has to do things better. Yes, it could be on Mitchell Robinson because if he gets hurt, it's like, who's the next man up? And I'm pretty sure like Thibodeau will start Jericho Sims at that point because he's trusted Jericho Sims to start in other regular season games. But if your choice is Mitchell Robinson, I have no fight back for him. I have no fight. I will not give Mitchell Robinson no excuses no more. He is in year 6. I fought for that man to get a new contract.
But you don't think he has more to prove than OG Anunoby?
No, because OG Anunoby was traded for a guy I watched.
Oh, so this is because of the guys they were traded. So then say it then. So then you got to say that then. So say it. All right, perfect. So go ahead. Go off
Mitchell Robinson been here.
Perfect.
It's personal.
Okay.
You know what you traded for OG Anunoby? It's not just for me. It's not just for me. That's a hit on Knicks management. They traded a guy you won 17 games for and another guy you won 21 games for, who both possibly can beat all-stars in the future, for a guy who's barely playing 40-plus games. The great defensive player, by the way. Could be a championship role player, by the way. But he's not what RJ Quigley can become. And by the way, OG Anunoby, he fits the Knicks perfectly. He fits the vets perfectly. He is like that perfect Tetris block that we needed. And I understood the reason why you traded RJ and Quigley for him. But I need some bang for my buck. You can't make $200+ million in
you want bang for your buck? Let me give you bang for your buck. Answer me this question. Riddle me this real quick. Let me ask you this. When we had RJ and we had Emmanuel Quigley before the season started, were we considered contenders? Or with OG Anunoby on the roster, are we considered contenders? Answer me that question real quick.
You wasn't. So my thing was RJ and Quigley was supposed to take the next step. What happened was Thibodeau, being the madman coach that he is, the kids stay stagnant under Thibodeau, just to be really honest. And then Grimes didn't take the next step. RJ didn't take the next step. He looked flat. Quigley didn't take the next step. So you had to make a change.
So if they didn't take the next step, and they were supposed to take the next step, because again, that's what you expect from your rookies. Don't you think the Knicks made a smart? Hold up. Whatever you want to say about coaching. Don't you think the Knicks made a smart decision by letting go of players that were not successful here to get a player that is absolutely successful here and fits?
It's only smart if you win a championship.
We're on our way. He's the piece that gets us on our way. We have the What do you mean we don't know that? We saw it.
You had to trade 6 picks for Mikal.
That's not who we're talking. We're talking about OG. We can get to Mikal if you want. We're talking about OG right now. I thought you mentioned OG. You want to mention Mikal?
OG average. He's a career 13-point per game guy. He ain't Ron Artest. He makes $200+ million now.
We're talking about OG Anunoby and his impact. You talking about the kids that didn't do anything. What did they do, State? Listen, you know how I felt about RJ when he was here. No, we definitely did it. No, we definitely did it. What are you talking about?
We lost in the second round.
The same way? The same way?
Yes.
No way. No.
Yes. Randall was hurt.
We was not even close to being injured the same way. What are you talking about? What do you? If we had OG during that series, do we win? Do we win?
Why was he? Why
do we win?
Injury. We lost because of injury.
Do we win if he's healthy? Do we win if he's healthy? Is what I'm asking you.
Last year versus Miami, if Randall was healthy.
Yes.
Come on now.
Yes, probably, maybe.
And so it's the same goddamn.
It's not the same dang thing. It's not.
Okay.
The fact that you can't acknowledge OG Anunoby's impact, contributions, and what he means to this team is ridiculous.
I did acknowledge it.
No, you didn't.
I did acknowledge it.
You said that RJ and Emmanuel quickly had a higher ceiling than him.
They both do.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
You just said they didn't take the next step. You just said they
RJ
didn't take the next step.
On the Raptors.
What do you do? What is it meaning that they don't take the next step? Does not taking the next step mean that they're advancing? Is that what you think it means?
Wait, hold on. They was on a linear progression under Thomas Thibodeau, and it wasn't looking good. On the Raptors, RJ shooting 55% from the field. OG Anunoby fits the Knicks system. Matter of fact, let me correct myself. OG Anunoby fits Thomas Thibodeau and Julius Randle in the vets better. And I understand the trade. But that doesn't mean that RJ and Quickly don't have a higher ceiling than a guy who averages 13 points. Y'all killing me over 13 points? What? Nobody in the barbershop in Harlem is going in the barbershop and saying, yeah, yo, I watched OG Anunoby yesterday, you heard? Stop playing with me, man.
What you mean nobody's saying that? I guarantee everybody said that after the game he played against the Pacers. Absolutely they did, because they had a reason to talk about him. You still keep taking away all of his accomplishments that he's done with the Knicks. You can't take that away just because RJ and Emmanuel are not here anymore. We're a better team without them. We are. You have to acknowledge it. We are. We're a championship contender right now. We were never that with Emmanuel Quickly and RJ. We were never that.
You don't know that.
I do. I watched it. I watched it.
Second round. What? We got the same result.
If you think the RJ second round and the Knicks and Pacers series and the second round are the same thing, then you are not even watching any of the same type of series. It's different.
Because we were supposed to beat Indiana. That's poppycock. Nonsense. That's OG fits the team better. I acknowledge that. But at the same time, when you trade kids, you in championship or bust mode. Nothing less than a championship. I don't want to see no more. If the Knicks don't get to the finals next year and win, it is a failure. You traded 6 first-round picks. You traded RJ. I watched 17 wins for RJ. Frank Ntilikina got Kawhi Leonard defense. What? I had to watch Kevin Knox get the ball stolen for Zion. You damn right I want a defensive player of the year from OG Anunoby. You damn right. I don't
even mind if you have an expectation of him that high, but I guarantee you one thing. I guarantee you never had that expectation for RJ Barrett, and there's a reason for that. There's levels to this. You never had that expectation for Emmanuel Quickly. There's levels to this. You won't say that though, right? There's levels to this. You would never give him that expectation. But for OG, he gets all these expectations. When RJ Barrett you would never give him that expectation because you never could. You never
RJ
could,
making
but
20
you could do it for OG because you know why? You want to know why you could do it for OG? Because
he's making
OG
20
could likely
million.
deliver it for you. That's why. You know why. You just don't want to say it. You don't want to say it. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody in the chat, I appreciate the 130 concurrent viewers that we have viewing us right now. All the listeners, everybody who's smashing the like button, all the subscribers. The chat is going off right now. They apparently like the exchange. We have a couple of people saying that they like what I'm saying. They like what you're saying. I like that. We have a little bit of a back and forth. But listen, if you guys think that we're just doing this, listen to me and state on any space. Go back to the first space maybe I even ever did with him before YouTube was even a thing. This is what we do. Because I disagree with him to that level because of how he delivers his takes. And it makes me want to give my takes in a crazier way. So I got to tell you, listen to anything that we do. It's like this. But again, the reason I wanted this is so you guys see. I don't care if he agrees with me or not. I don't care if anybody agrees with me or not. The point is, I'm not going to run away from anything that I believe. If I think this is the right thing for the team to do, I'm going to say it, just like State. And he's not going to run away from it.
Yo, your chat is cooking me, my boy.
Hey, listen. They got a right to cook you because you saying nonsense. You saying nonsense, bro.
No, I'm not.
Oh, yes, you are. Yes, you are. OG Anunoby. OG. Why you keep mentioning his points? Say something about his defense.
Oh, defense. Whoop-de-doo.
On the Tom Thibodeau, you saying that? On the Tom Thibodeau, you saying that?
January. Whoop-de-doo. Let's jump for joy like the clown from Spawn. He's our man. Nobody can beat OG. Nobody can. Get the hell out of here with that nonsense, man. OG Anunoby, paper man. That man needs to win Defensive Player of the Year. Listen, I'm not disregarding his defense.
You are. You are. No, you are. No, you are. You are. Absolutely.
No, he's
are. Absolutely
are. He's a lead on defense. He's great in the plus minus. I acknowledge the 25-6 record with him. I acknowledge the win streaks with him. I acknowledge the Knicks' dominance with him. That's a part of the reason why they're championship and bust with me right now. But at that same time, you're making $200+ million. So I need to hold you to a standard of a $200+ million player. You need to win Defensive Player of the Year award, brother. You need to be first team on defense, brother. You need to play at least 70 games, brother. You need to help the Knicks win a championship, brother. That's all I want to see. Because of what we gave up for him, what we sacrificed to get here, the mental beating I've taken to get here, the mental beating I'm taking right now from the chat for Paper Man. I love Paper Man. Paper Man, my God, that's Paper Man. You know I rock with Paper Man, but Paper Man is made of paper. RJ's not a New York Knick. The hell with RJ Barrett. But I'm not going to change my opinion and say, oh, RJ and Quickly don't have a higher ceiling than OG because they're not Knicks no more. No, I feel that. OG's a career 13-point per game guy. We're talking basketball here. We're not talking Nick Goggle, Twitter, you're not a real Knick fan stuff right now. That's how I feel. Paper Man, yeah, that's me. He's Paper Man. Until he proved me wrong, I could call him Paper Man. And that's my Paper Man. That's my New York Knick. I'm not riding for no Raptors players. RJ Quickly could go to hell. But I'm holding Paper Man to a standard he needs to be held to. That's why I call him Paper Man. Nobody gonna change my opinion about Paper Man.
Apparently, the whole chat saying Paper Man. So let's go to the chat because God knows I ain't talking to you no more without this. I'm not. I'm done. I'm not yelling no more. Let's go to the chat. God damn. Buy yourself, by the way, while I'm talking, buy yourself a recap Knicks tape mug while you at it. If you want, buy one, get it, get the merch, drink yourself into a coma like I'm about to do. But chat gang, let's see where you at. All right, let's see. State lay off the blunts, bro. Jeremy says the Knicks will regress next season. Don't know who that is.
What? Jeremy on
no, what's going on right now?
I don't know.
Apparently, everybody right now is loving what we are doing right now. They're loving the interaction. All I see is a bunch of laughing faces. That's all I see is a bunch of laughing faces. JM says State is 15% correct, though. They gave you 15%.
Jay, you got
take 15. Take 15.
He's making $200+ million. He's supposed to bounce around New York and be cool? No. 52 years tell me otherwise. No.
Mel Bester says RJ doesn't play like a superstar. 3rd overall pick, and after 5 seasons, they traded him for OG, and RJ's defense always sucked. He had a lot of stuff to improve still and had just played in the Olympics. So what he's trying to say is that RJ Barrett just came off an Olympic run. Normally players who come off an Olympic run, Mello, normally go off during their season. It didn't really happen for RJ Barrett, even though we all hoped and prayed it. So even with that, they just wanted to see him gone. He left. Knicks got admittedly better, whatever you want to say. We did. And I think that's it's not cap. We're better. Stop saying it's cap. We were not championship contenders with them on the team. We're championship contenders now. Stop it. Stop doing that. Stop doing that, State.
Same results.
JJ says at least 70 games. More like the cap is 70 games. I think he's talking about OG Anunoby. You want OG to play 70 games, State?
Yeah, he has to. He's making $200+ million.
Let me ask you a question. How many players normally you think in the league play 70+ games that are superstars? So you don't care. You just want him to play it magically.
There's only 17 players for the Knicks, bro. Come on. Thank you. Come on now. I know you wasn't going to battle me. I don't give a damn about what they play. We on a 52-year title drought. $200+ million. And he getting DMP because I got a stubby toe. My toe hurt. My $200 million toe hurt. Oh, my $200 million tummy hurt. He letting Jalen Brunson and Randall go out there to let them die for themselves. No, bro. It's on. No, bro. No, bro. I swear to God, I'm on his heels. I need to see Ron Artest like defense.
You lost your mind. What are you talking? You see what you're saying? By the way, shout out to the chat. King D says, LOL, Jeremy on YouTube is comedy. Jeremy's in the chat, by the way. Shout out to Jeremy, my guy. D says this is better than the presidential debate. Salute to the chat gang. Definitely salute to the chat gang. I appreciate y'all. Hey, I appreciate y'all that y'all like the live that we're doing right now. Listen, man, it's a vibe. That's what it is. It's real. It's because like he says this stuff. He says it on a regular basis too. He doesn't even care. He says it because he knows sometimes. He doesn't even care sometimes, man. You don't even understand. You know, people watch us, right? People gonna watch this. When I clip this and I gotta make it a video because of you, you're like pointing to the camera, right? Like pointing to the camera. I see you on live pointing at the camera. I point at the camera too. When I gotta make this a clip because of you, right? I hope you're okay with that. I hope you accept those consequences of Paper Man. I might label the freaking video Paper Man because of you. Paper Man. It's ridiculous. And I can't wait till we get to the ECF and you not saying Paper Man no more. You saying OG, no, watch how fast that switches. Watch it be OG. Watch it be Prince OG. Watch how fast it switch. Be Prince OG at that point, right?
Nah, man.
Yeah. Watch how fast.
Man. Paper Man, man. That's Paper Man right there, man. He gonna stay. I'm gonna stay called Paper Man. Paper Man got that ring to it, and it got an emoji for him. So you know, Paper Man playing well. You know, all you gotta do is put that emoji. You see that emoji that I put on Twitter with the little paper with the pencil? You know, that's Paper Man. Shouts to Paper Man, man. But our season hinges on him. Like him, it's a couple guys. Matter of fact, can I ask you a question? I know you got me. I got a question that's burning on my mind.
Just don't be disrespectful, State.
It's really it's not.
Yeah.
Next season, Mitchell Robinson, Deuce McBride, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby. Who has the biggest impact on the Knicks next season? And I give you a caveat to make it easier for you. The Knicks won 65 games next season. Who had the biggest jump in their play next season?
That's kind of tough to answer. I think a lot of people. To be honest, I think Julius Randle is going to have the biggest jump in his game, if I'm being completely honest, because this is the best roster we've ever surrounded Julius Randle with, and the fact that he can do the bully ball that he loves now, and he doesn't have to rely on any. Because if any defenders leave the corners, they're going to pay because Randle's too good with the passing to allow that to happen. So I actually expect Randle to have the biggest jump, and if we're winning 65 plus, Randle has a monster year. And by the way, so funny. Randle, because he's not going to get extended, is going to be in a contract year. He's going to have that monster year. Knicks are winning 60-plus games. I'll stand on that hill right now. Knicks are winning 60-plus games. Maybe 61, 62. I don't know. But they're winning 60. We have the roster to do it.
But I got 65.
Okay, but then right back at you then, to answer your question, who do you think it's going to be? I think it's Randle. Who's going to have the biggest jump if the Knicks win 65? Who do you think that's going to be?
I think it's going to be either Mikal or OG, because I'm going into this season believing that the Knicks going to have 3 All-Stars. I'm also going into the season that the Knicks will have multiple all-team defense members. I'm also going into the season with the mindset that the Knicks will have multiple guys on the All-NBA team as well. So I'm thinking the Knicks gonna have just a magical season all over. So that's why, like, I'm talking so highly and I'm talking so disrespectful, and I'm putting the finals or bust mantra on this current New York Knicks team because I have so much confidence in them.
Listen. I think. Look, it's fair. I'll say it's fair to say Mikal or OG because they're newer. And potentially Mikal could have a crazy impact, right?
Have a monster year.
Yeah, right. And that could be crazy as well, too. But I think Randle has the best chance to thrive with the roster that we've created. Because and Jalen to an extent as well, too. But more Randle because we saw JB ball out last season. I think we're going to continue to see that, maybe even another level. JB, I don't even think he's done yet. I think he has higher heights he can reach. But Randle, I think Randle has just come into the perfect situation. This is everything you could think of for a Julius Randle led team, even on offense or whatever you want it to be. You go into the paint and you try to double or triple team Randle, it's a death sentence because you're going to have Dante, Bridges, OG, or McBride in the corner or at the perimeter. That's easy money. That's open shooting. That's practice. The Knicks never had that before. And then you have the duo that can switch on anybody. It makes it harder. It makes it hard to get into the paint for the Knicks. So Randle doesn't even have to be in the paint so much. Randle can be the outlier. He can be the straggler that can run up court. He was doing that in his COVID year, if you remember, right? And that's what I expect him to do a lot more of because we have the roster to support that now.
You trust him coming off injury?
I do. Look what he did last year. Let me ask you a question. He came off
injury. He was horrific. His first 2 games, he was really bad.
Okay, first 2 games. How about all the other ones?
First 10.
All right, whatever. All the other ones after. I'll take 10 bad games if it means Julius Randle gives me that season. You know what, Ju? You got it. Take 10. Have 10 bad games if that means you're going to give me so many other good ones and I win. Please, take 10 bad games by all means. Because last year, by all accounts, before he got injured in January, that month that you never want to remember, that was probably the best Randle basketball we have ever seen. Randle playing within the flow of the offense is the exact role he needs to be. And now we have the roster to give it to him. Absolutely, it's Randle. Time and time again. It's not even close, in my opinion. Not even close. You could say Mikal only because he's new. But roster-wise, it's Randle all day. But shout out to the chat gang. You guys, I love you guys. You guys are going off. Really appreciate it. I'll read some more comments before we go to our next topic here. Let's see. Killer Dog says, Div off the bench. Darlene says 60 games this season. Drip Moore says 67 wins. Wow. That would be ridiculous. I'd love that. The city would go bonkers. Peng says last year the Knicks lost 11 games by 6 or less, 60 wins. We stand on that. Yep, I agree. If we keep McBride, he has a lot to prove as well. We will keep McBride. I don't think he's going anywhere. We definitely getting over 60 wins guaranteed. That's BDP. Nah says 100. Jeremy says Julius Randle will have difficulty adjusting next season. I believe Julius Randle is the odd man out, especially concerning his contract extension. Julius Randle was awful the first 20 games last year. So he says 20 games, you say 10. Truth is somewhere in the middle. I say 15. I just say it again. 15 bad games. And he gives you the rest that are good. I am taking that. I'm sorry, but somebody coming off of injury, you're not going to get it right away, Jeremy. I understand. It's going to take some time. But after the time is taken, you see what he does? I like that, Randall. I'm sorry, but that works for me. But shout out to the chat gang. Go ahead. I'll let you address the Jeremy comment regarding Julius Randle and the fact that potentially he could be the odd man out next season. What do you feel about that before we go to our next topic?
I think that's blasphemous, man. I think you got to give that man a chance, bro. You already done traded all of the kids personally and you know, all of the youth. I feel like you owe it to Randall to at least give him a chance to try to succeed, bro. This is why I've been on some, like, you know, Randall's untouchable. Don't trade him right now. Let's see what he could do. I'm really interested in it. But going into next season, honestly, like recap, like, I don't need to see him average 20 and 10 no more, bro. He's done his job. Like, as a Knicks fan, I'm satisfied with what he's given me these past couple of years. Like I put a tweet out earlier. There's gonna be a younger Knicks fan when I'm in my late 40s who's literally going, like, I'm gonna ask him, why did you become a Knicks fan? You know what the answer gonna be? I became a Knicks fan because I used to watch Julius Randle when I was a young teenager. If that's the case, and I'm thinking like that in that sense, because as you get older and you get wiser, you start thinking about things that's reality, you start thinking about things that's realistic. I feel like all Julius Randle has to do now is just fit in, right? This is the best roster he's ever had around him. The COVID season, Randle was the best Randle I've ever seen in my life. He was top 5 NBA player I've ever seen in the season. COVID season, Randle was unstoppable. He was the Black Larry Bird. He was like LeBron James. I didn't understand. He made every mid-range shot. There was a game, I forgot what team he was playing, bro, but he looked like Carmelo Anthony, bro. Like, it was so fake that year, bro. And we all know what the COVID year 2020, what it's done to everybody and how it's, but I just need him to just come back and just fill in the spot. But you said something interesting, and I caught that. I think Julius Randle will be re-signed before September 1st. And I've been trying to, like, scour around, like, ask people. I think he will be re-signed before September 1st. The only thing that continues to bother me, and what I'm getting, like, a sense from it, they're at an impasse at probably the length of years. I think that's the impasse where they're like, no, because I think the Knicks want to give him a 3-year deal. And I think Randall would like a 4-year deal out flat. The total money, is that a problem? I don't think that's a problem either. And I also think the Knicks could take the caveat of going into another NBA season and allowing the cap space to get higher. You know what I'm saying? And then trying to pay this guy, right? Instead of just trying to pay him now and being over the second apron. So it's a lot of caveats to it. But I trust Leon Rose and what he got planned with Julius Randle. But I think he will be resigned before September 1st, for sure. I guarantee. I almost guarantee. Matter of fact, I'm gonna guarantee he's like resigned before September at a lower deal.
Yeah, I don't agree with that at all. That makes zero sense for the Knicks to do that. Why not? Because Jalen Brunson just made that huge sacrifice. Why would you use it to now re-sign Randle? That defeats the purpose of the sacrifice.
The sacrifice was for you to trade Mikal, get Mikal in the building, and you re-signing Randle.
That wasn't the only reason. And even Brunson said the exact same thing. Brunson's his exact words were, I did it to give the Knicks more flexibility so we can continue to build a championship roster. And you can say what you want to say. I can say what I want to say, but that's coming from Jalen Brunson himself. So if he's saying that, I'm going to take his word for it. And if he said he wants to do it because of flexibility, then the Knicks it makes zero sense then for the Knicks to use the money they just got to then waste away their flexibility by re-signing Randle. It also doesn't do anything. Well, hold up. It also doesn't do anything good for Randle to do that either, because Randle already took less, and he is going to take less again, but not less at this juncture. He's going to take less than the max. Similar to, who do you call him? Paperman, who took less than the max. Randle is going to be right around the exact same thing. I'm telling you, I'm just saying my opinion on the matter. It looks like it's going to be the case. And you know what? I want it that way, because Randle in a contract year, that sounds monstrous, number one. Number two, if he has a great postseason, a great regular season, then potentially his value skyrockets. I'm not saying you trade him, but if his value skyrockets, then you never know potentially what's available for Randle. I'm not saying the Knicks make a move, but you know what? They probably have more moves they can make at that point than they can do right now. And regardless of what you say, having somebody sign an extension right now, potentially, we've seen players happen, a lot of players, it can make a player less motivated to go out there and do what they need to do. I'm not saying that's going to happen to Randle. I'm just saying we have seen it happen before. So really, for the Knicks, it doesn't make any sense, especially like you said, he's coming off an injury. Why would you extend somebody that you haven't seen go out there and be able to prove it? Doesn't make sense, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think, honestly, I think what you just said is ridiculous. No disrespect. The only reason I think it's just ridiculous to me is because you just watched Jalen Brunson give up $100+ million. The cap is going up every single season, every single summer after this season. Randle can sign at a less rate. Also, OG Anunoby and Randle's at two different points in their careers. This is the first big payday for OG Anunoby. He capitalized on the fact that the Knicks traded RJ Barrett and quickly for him. And also he could say to the Knicks management, we got a 25-6 record. Julius Randle already got a big payday. He's a made man already.
You ever got the max?
Right? No, he didn't get the max.
That's the difference.
But you mean to tell me a man who's made, it's about to be $300+ million from the New York Knicks, with his wife and family's comfortable, where his son is comfortable, won't take less after he just watched Jalen Brunson, the captain, take less. And morally speaking, the moral part, Brunson wouldn't be here without Randle. Randle, the reason why the Knicks got to the playoffs during the COVID season and you know, before Jalen Brunson got here, Randle made it cool. You know, I can't morally, and as far as like agents wise around the NBA and the way you're supposed to treat your star players, the way you're supposed to treat your all-star players, the way the Knicks image used to look before Julius Randle and a lot of these guys got here, you owe it to that man. Julius Randle on his side, you kind of owe it to Jalen Brunson to take way less, because Brunson just took damn near $100+ million less. So I think it's just a culture thing, bro. You want to ride out, you want to win a championship here, all right, then take less. If it's really not about the money, my problem with Jalen Brunson taking less than $100 million was coming from a black man standpoint. You're not supposed to give a white billionaire a discount. But at the same time, State, you're being selfish because your teammates, not all of them is black. On top of the fact that you're on a team and you're trying to win a championship, and you're not going to be able to win a championship if that said team is not able to pay all said players. So it's so much into that, bro. So if I'm Randle, and I'm looking at how people ride out for him, I'm looking at the way Leon Rose do business, right? I believe he will resign this summer. If he don't resign this summer, I believe he will be resigned next summer at a less rate. He will be making less. He will take a pay cut. I strongly believe that.
Okay, the reason that Randle will not sign an extension this year is because he's done this already. He's not going to do it again. He's going to take less, but he's going to take... Hold on. He's going to take less than the max. Let me ask you a question. Why did he join CAA again? You think that magically happened for no reason? Think there's no reason behind that? You think he did that to do what you're saying he's going to do?
Yes.
That makes no sense at all. You telling me he's going back to the same company that repped him for his entire career because he was not promised to get that money? You are talking like you don't understand how the business of that whole thing works. Why would he go back to CAA?
Oh my God.
What's the purpose?
So you don't think there's under the table deals? You don't think there's under the table things that happen with the New York Knicks and the NBA sports world where they have an undisclosed agreement that, we can't mention? I think those things happen, bro. He has a strong relationship with management. The fans love him.
I don't agree with that at all. I definitely don't agree with that.
Bro, I'm not trading him for Cat, bro. That's not.
Nobody said to do that. I'm not trying to do that either. Julius Randle for me right now is untouchable because there is nobody that is available right now to trade him for. And anybody that somebody would mention right now, even if a Cat was mentioned at this point, you could never match the impact. And if you think that you could, you are kidding yourself. You're dreaming. If you can't acknowledge that this is the best roster that Randle has ever had around him, you cannot. You're dead. Then you're a hater on Randle, or you're just trying not to acknowledge this man's greatness. Because what he's done over the course of his Knicks career, you could take all the good and the bad together. He has more positives than negatives. I understand the negatives may weigh more because they may show themselves more in the postseason. But we've never seen him in the postseason with this type of roster. I think anybody who's a critic of him should absolutely give him a chance. The extension is going to come based off of his play. And honestly, the Knicks wouldn't have it any other way. Somebody coming off of an injury, why wouldn't you want them to dictate their amount? Not you. You want the max, Randle? Whatever contract you want, you're going to play for it. Last time we saw that, by the way, State, he was a monster. To your point, one of the best basketball players during the COVID year that got him that contract he's on right now. What do you think's going to happen if he has another? Let me ask you another thing then. State, answer this question. If he has another monster year, what would history tell you would happen?
That he's still going to take less.
But still stay with the Knicks. What's the less that they could offer him at that point, but not the full that he would accept? Would it not be the max?
It's reported that Randle can be extended for 4 years, $181 million.
Right now, if he does it now. But if he waits.
Okay. Why can't the Knicks get that man to sign a 3-year, $100 million deal? Why he can't get him to sign a 4-year?
Because that's ridiculous. You know how you said 3 years, $100 million?
3 years, $100 million. 3 years, $110 million. Why they couldn't get him to re-sign that? Why?
That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous.
That is a lot of money.
Not saying it's not a lot. I mean, he makes a lot of money. The point is, he's done this before. You're asking him to do it again, and you're asking the Knicks to take faith in somebody that they have not seen play after a major injury. So you want them to spend money on somebody that had a major injury, and you don't know the result. So what if he doesn't do well? Then you're stuck with him, and his value goes down? What do the Knicks have to benefit to do that now? It doesn't make sense. Why would it make sense?
That's BS, because now you're going into the season with that cloud over your head of, hey, are we paying Randle?
What happened last time? What happened last time?
That was COVID. That's an anomaly.
You don't think in a contract year he's not going to go off?
No, I don't know that.
You don't think?
I don't know that.
I'm asking you.
I think he could go off, but at the same time, like money-wise, it would be better for the Knicks to re-sign him now at a way less amount because the cap space is going to go up for the next few years.
Why did Brunson take the pay cut if you are going to extend Randle now?
So your boys could get paid.
So the only reason you want to extend Randle now is to underpay him so heavily that it makes sense.
Brunson.
That's Brunson right now. Randle did it already. Did you forget?
Randall's coming off a season-ending surgery with his shoulder. He's making so much off the court money and is in so many commercials that if he's about winning a championship, why wouldn't Randall take 50 million less? Why wouldn't he take 60 million less? He's already making the money.
He's taking less. He's continuously taking less. You know what this is called? You know why Brunson is rumored to get close to 500 million in 5 years when he can potentially get the Supermax? It's because it's loyalty, State. He showed loyalty to the Knicks by taking less before. So because of that, they are going to be loyal to him and pay him not the max, but close to it because of the sacrifice he did before. Brunson's going to do the same thing. So in a couple of years, you want Brunson to do the same thing again? Sacrifice again? That's what you want?
Why the hell?
I'm asking you, no. You want Brunson to sacrifice in a couple of years when he can sign an extension again?
I love Jalen Iverson.
Oh, just because it's Jalen, Jalen shouldn't do it, but Julius is okay. All right, now I see. Now we got it down. Thank you very much. You can continue.
Basketball. Why am I paying a 6'1" guard $70+ million at 32 years old? That doesn't even sound.
Wait, you're saying you're not going to pay Jalen Brunson close to 500?
The reason why I'm gonna give him that money is because we're gonna have a championship already. So
okay, so then what are we talking about for Randall? Then we're not gonna have a championship then too?
We are. That's why I would like to pay him now, so we can make sure we sign everybody else after we win the championship.
We're gonna do that anyways. We're gonna do that anyways. You don't think the Knicks have that planned?
That's why you re-signed Randall this summer, though.
That's not part of their plan, clearly.
Now I disagree with that. I can't subscribe to that. I can't subscribe to that because now nightmare scenario. Let's say if Randall get hurt, he out for the whole season. What type of nonsense is that? Now you don't know what to pay him going in the next off season. You don't know what his trade value is. I'd rather just get that out the way now. 3-year, $100 million. Pay him around $37 to $44 million, and I would be fine with that. I'll be fine with that. I think the Knicks should do it now because they would save a whole lot more money. That's why.
State, we're at 9:53. Do you have time to go on a little further past then? I'm just asking. We had 10 o'clock cutoff. I just wanted to ask.
Please.
Let's
keep going.
All right. Appreciate you. And chat gang as well too. If you want to continue seeing us go at it, because we do have another topic or two to go after before we go to the chat gang again. So if you do want us to continue, please hit that thumbs up button, smash it to death if you can. Let me see those hearts. Let me see those comments as well too. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel as well too. You see State's information as well too on the screen there as well. Definitely follow him on Twitter. Subscribe to his YouTube channel. That helps everybody as well too. And it definitely, if you want to see more content like this, you're going to find it with State as well, too. So, again, see what I'm doing, but also watch what he's doing as well, too. Subscriptions are free. They don't cost you a dime. So, please, make sure you go ahead and do that. But, chat gang, like I said, we are going to get to you. It seems like everybody is loving is loving actually the live, the chat, everything. So, I think we're going to continue here for a little bit longer. State, let's go ahead and continue to the last topic, and then we'll kill off the show for the end with the chat gang. I think they have a lot of things to say to you. And I think you have a lot of things to say to them. So I think it'll be fun. Let's continue with the last one. So the last one for me, it's not, I don't know if it's going to be as, I wouldn't say as crazy of a topic, but what I wanted to talk about is defining success for the Knicks. What is a successful season for the Knicks? Now, I don't know if I should give you credit for it. I don't know if you heard it from somewhere, but I will say that I've heard it mostly from you and no one else. So I do have to say that I've heard it from you. The quote unquote championship or bust. Right now, I vehemently disagree with you on this. I do not agree with you at all. But I respect the fact that you believe in it so strongly. And I want to give you the opportunity to be able to speak on that. So, State, at this point, with the Knicks and the roster that we have, and I'm showing it on screen right now so everybody can see. I want to read it out to you as well, too. Okay. With our 2024-2025 roster right now, as speaking, we have point guard, Jalen Brunson, Tyler Kolek, campaign. Shooting guard, Mikal Bridges, Dante DiVincenzo, Miles McBride. Small forward, OG Anunoby, Pacome Dadier. Power forward, Julius Randle, Josh Hart. And then for center, Mitchell Robinson, Preston Achua, Jericho Sims, and Ariel Huckaporty. On the two ways, we have Ariel Huckaporty again, Kevin McCullough Jr., and Jacob Toppin. And in terms of the starting lineup, you're likely going to see Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Julius Randle, and Mitchell Robinson. Everybody on screen can also see the current lineup that we have as well. Everybody, I don't have Jacob Toppin on this one as of yet, but I did have his name on the previous slide. But again, this is the projected starting lineup. Shout out to Knicks Media for giving us the right screenshot over there. Left screenshot over there is by Knicks Dynasty. Give them a follow on Instagram. Is where I got the images. Make sure you follow all content creators. They do this for free. At least for now they are. At least for now they do. But let's go off to you. Everybody on screen right now can see exactly what we're looking at in terms of the starting lineup, what we potentially have. Now, with all of that in mind, understanding the depth, I go ahead and ask you the same question again. What's defining success for the Knicks next season? Again, you're famously quoted as saying championship or bust. If you want to go ahead and explain that a little bit and then give your take on the Knicks next season and what is success for them. Go ahead.
Such a gorgeous looking roster to look at. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. You have two players who both shoot 40+% from three in both corners. And I'm just rounding that out. You got 5+ players who shot 35% from 3+ last season. You got a point guard who just averaged 28 and 6 on elite efficiency last season. You got Josh Hart, who was top 5 in Knicks history in triple doubles in a season last season. You got Dante DiVincenzo, who just broke the Knicks record for most threes in the season. I don't got to worry about Evan Fournier with his French stealing, money, hungry, grubbing, robbery, thief, self. Okay? So you got Dante, who was one of the best shooters in the NBA last season. You traded 5 or 6 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges. When you trade more than 4 first-round picks, best believe your team should be in championship or bust mode. I don't give a damn who's on the roster. You traded 4 or 5 first-round picks and a lot of them unprotected, you better win a championship. With that said, if I don't see Thomas Thibodeau in the NBA Finals winning a championship this year, I want him fired. And I want him fired because this is one of the best teams in Knicks history and one of the greatest talented teams I'm going to see and watch next season. Thibodeau is top 5 in Knicks history in wins. I believe he's top 10 in NBA history in winning percentage in the regular season. But that man is sub 50% in the playoffs right now in his record. You traded 17 wins and 21 wins for OG Anunoby, and you paid OG Anunoby $12+ million. You ran with the vets. You didn't want to build with the kids. No problem. You bring in talented Mikal Bridges, who had a usage rate of 14.9 in the season that he helped the Suns get to the NBA Finals and shot on elite efficiency, who was also top 3 in the defensive player of the year award standings during that season. Brother, there's nothing less I want to see with the finals with this New York Knicks basketball team under those caveats. And finally, Leon Rose is in year 5. It don't take you this many years to build a championship team after Scott Perry and Steve Mills left you all your cap space. They left you all your first-round picks. They left you a 24-year-old Julius Randle. They left you a 20-year-old RJ Barrett. What do you have for me? Now it's time to go, bro. You resigned your whole roster. The continuity is here. You got guys who won a college championship here on the same roster. You got the best perimeter defender in basketball. You got one of the other best perimeter defenders in basketball, one of the best point guards in basketball, one of the best power forwards in basketball. You got a center who is second in Knicks history and blocks total, and Mitchell Robinson, who is leading the league and steals at a point in time in that this past NBA season. You're damn right them boys better win the championship next season. If they don't, that is an utter failure. But I'm not going to put that on the players recap. I'm never going to put that on the players. I'm going to put that on Thomas Thibodeau. I'm not going to blame no players for playoff losses this year. I think that is out of their hands now because the team is going to be so talented. I think they're going to do their job. And plus, and last but not least, man, 52 years, man. This OGs who went in the grave. RIP to the OGs who been watching the Knicks their whole lives. Who watched Ben Udrih, Emmanuel Jeremy Lin, Alec Burks,
Kadeem Allen,
Chris Duhon broke the record for most assists in please.
Shout out to Tony Douglas.
Tony Douglas. I don't know. Chris Duhon, Tony Douglas, one of them broke the Knicks record in most assists. Listen, man. I want a championship of mine, man. This team, they got me feeling like 2013 Knicks tape, bro. I love Knicks tape, bro. Knicks tape was supposed to win it all, bro. We beat the hell out of Miami that first game, bro. Beat the living hell out of them, bro. I hope we got a chance to do it this year, bro. I want nothing less, bro. If we lose anywhere before the finals, I just want Tibbs fired. I'm not going to blame the players next year. It's not on them. I want the coach fired, get a new voice in there, get a young boy in there who could talk to them young boys. Give me a spry young white boy or give me a minority. Young. I want them young, under 40 years old. I don't want Jay Wright. He old, wrinkly. I'm done with that. I'm done with that look. Give me a Chris Finch. Give me Chris Quinn. Give me. I want that. I want that. No more young boys. Joe Mazzulla, 36, 35, 30. Hey, T.L. older than me. What a damn championship. Not for a recap. I'm so sorry.
No, listen. Let's that's hilarious. So here's the thing. Shout out to you. Shout out to your take. I have a couple things I want to say to it. One thing I do want to say though, we've been on this journey quite a while, and I think my take on Tom Thibodeau, which admittedly has changed, used to be kind of similar to yours. Would say almost worse, I'd say. Or at least up there with it. Not as bad, not as bad. Up there, though. I think I've, since then, gone the opposite direction. Now, I do that based off of just what I see, right? Like, I think anybody has the right to update your take based off of things that you see. That's part of basketball. I think Tom Thibodeau has adjusted in a way that I didn't expect him to do. I think we finally have the roster that Thibodeau can coach all the way to the NBA Finals. But where we disagree is that you think Tom Thibodeau should be fired if we don't make the NBA Finals, because that you would deem as a failure for the Knicks.
A failure. If we don't win a championship, that's a failure under him.
Okay.
It's a failure. It's a failure.
Why do you say it's a failure? Is it because of the roster we have?
The roster we have is so talented, and the coach that we have is very talented, and I should not be seeing a stupid offense no more. He has everything that he has at his disposal. On top of the fact that when we beat this, what really gave me the confidence, bro, when we beat Philly, and we had no Randall, and I think OG missed a game or two. I said, they just gotta stay healthy, bro. They gotta stay healthy, bro. That's on the coach, bro. Anything, because I don't want to get to the finals and lose, bro. We're not 90s Knicks fans. I don't want this to be the 90s Knicks fan remix where we make the playoffs every year and get punched in our face every time, bro. I don't want to make the finals. Oh, yeah, we made the finals in 94. But John Starks went 2 for 18. Patrick Ewing, layup. 1999, Ewing tore his ACL. I wrote a Substack on it. Come on now. They got to win, bro. They got to win, bro. Like, it's no, There's no way in with this team. And I'll give them grace. I'm not gonna get on here next summer if we lose in the second round and say, I quit. I'm gonna still be here, but I would like the coach to be fired. And I would like for us to get a new voice and a new. I need somebody new in there, because if Tibbs, you got 3 straight second round exits, gotta switch it up, bro. You gotta switch it up, bro. I'm sorry, I don't care if fans love Tibbs and all of this Tibbs love affair and all this garbage. You gotta switch it up, bro. Period.
Sorry about that. I'm muted. I was muted for a little bit there.
ECF.
I was muted there for a little bit. What I was gonna say there though was yes, for the ECF, for me anyways, I feel like the Knicks, what we define as success, would be Eastern Conference Finals, because it's eluded us for the last 2 seasons. We have not gotten there. Whatever you want to say, the road is difficult. It's been difficult for us. If we get to the ECF, I would consider it a successful season. It doesn't mean that I want it to end there. I just consider it successful. If we go all the way to the NBA Finals, of course, that's the goal. That's what I want. A championship, of course, that's the goal. That's what I want. But ECF is the at least most we have to get to. We have to get there. That would be success. Not getting there, in my opinion, would be a failure, but it would not be nowhere close to be championship or bust. I have to break this down because I have a big problem with this, and it's irking me. And the chat gang, we're going to get to you as well. I apologize. I was on mute for a few seconds there, but I fixed it. I want to go to me real quick. Listen, I'm just going to say this because I feel like it's not going to get the attention that it needs to get. Tom Thibodeau, right? We can just go there with Tom Thibodeau. And also, again, with the championship or bust situation. With Tom Thibodeau, the reason it can't be championship or bust, again, he was just extended. We can go to it real quick. New York Knicks have extended Tom Thibodeau on a 3-year contract. Contract worth up to around, I don't know, $10 million per. Around that, north of 30 is what Ian Bagley stated in his latest report. So again, he got paid. He's definitely not going to get extended and then be fired if he gets to the Eastern Conference Finals. And depending on how you lose, I'm just saying, depending on how you lose, right, and who you lose to, those are factors that are always going to make something that happened different. It's going to make sure it's going to change the perspective depending on who you lose to and how you lose. But I'm not saying that that's the only factor. There's a number of factors. But thinking that Tom Thibodeau, one of the again, even if you want to replace Thibs, you couldn't tell me somebody to replace him with. And anybody you named would be a question mark. And they would be compared to Thibs automatically. In the first season, if we did worse or we tanked or we did horribly, everything would fail and it would ride on that guy. So what you're telling me is you want to put somebody else through a ringer and potentially hurt our chances if we fail 1 year. It doesn't always work out in year 1. Miami, the super team, it didn't work out for the Miami Heat. It didn't work out for the Miami Heat.
They lost their dirt.
It doesn't matter. They were a super team. They didn't do it. They were a super team. You're not listening. Super team.
Nowitzki.
What does that mean when I'm saying super team? They were a super team and they lost. It was year 1. It doesn't always happen in year 1. Sometimes it takes a bit. Championship or bust makes no sense. It does not make sense. No, it doesn't. It doesn't make sense. We have a window. Why do we have a window?
That's ridiculous. You traded 5 first-round picks, and you telling me with a straight damn face that no, year 1, no. Let's just get to the Eastern Conference Finals.
No. Don't put words in my mouth. Don't put words in my mouth. I didn't say that. I said getting to the Eastern Conference Finals would be something that I would deem a successful season for the Knicks because we haven't gotten there. That's not where I want it to stop.
No.
Okay, I don't want it to stop there, but I would consider it successful because we've never been there. You're saying you want Tom Thibodeau fired. You couldn't name the coach to replace him with. And I'm not even a Tom Thibodeau, praiser here. I was never a Thibs guy. I became one because of his coaching and his adaptability, which you even are on record stating that that's why you were more of a fan of him last season. So now you're telling me it's championship or bust when we have a window? How can it be championship or bust if we have a window? How does that make sense? It doesn't make sense. Why do we have a window if it's championship or bust? Explain it to me.
You can't logically explain to me why a coach lost in the second round 3 years straight without getting fired.
What are you talking about? Where was you? So you're not going to acknowledge the roster he had in those games?
Somebody has to get fired. Somebody had
It's no way. What are we doing? What are we doing here? What are we doing? So we're not going to acknowledge we had a hobbled roster going in against the Pacers?
No, we're not getting better if we lose three
What are we doing? What are we doing here?
Wait, hold on. We lose in the second round 3 straight seasons, and you traded 5 first-round picks? That is a failure. You have no first-round picks. The window is open. I agree with that. The championship window is open. That's why I will be even more pissed off if the Knicks don't win a championship next season, because the roster is so good. I'm not scared of them little leprechauns in Boston. Who's scared of the leprechauns in Boston? Jason Tatum play like James Posey when you put a defender on him. I'm not scared of them. We beat the living hell out of Philly in the playoffs. Paul George? I'm damn sure ain't scared of Paul George. So who's after that? Milwaukee with Doc Rivers? I watched Doc Rivers lose a 3-1 lead with Tracy McGrady in 0-1. Are we kidding me? Let's stop this nonsense, man. Let's stop this nonsense, man. The Knicks need to be in the finals next season, bro. And whoever's in the finals is going to get swept because the energy in the city. Can you imagine the city where everybody's standing? You kidding me? Oh, what's up, OG? You need something? Come through, man. You gotta go back. Come on, man. Anyway, can you understand the city? If the New York Knicks, come this way, OG. What's up, man? If the New York Knicks win a championship, can you understand the riots? Can you understand what would happen in the city?
I understand your excitement, but what does that have to do with championship or busting Tom Thibodeau in year one? Tom
Thibodeau, in 52 years, he's one of the best winning coaches in NBA history. He has a 58 winning percentage in the regular season. He's a loser in the playoffs. He's been winning with the Knicks the past couple of years. We are in year 5 of Leon Rose and Thomas Thibodeau. Please get me to the finals and win a championship. I can't wait.
How many years have we had this championship roster?
One.
No, not even. Not even. Because Mikel hasn't played a game. So 0. 0 is the answer. 0 is the answer. Not 1. 0. We have never been championship contenders. Never. Till Mikel was traded here.
Mm-hmm. Poppycock.
Oh, so we were championship contenders last year.
Yep.
Are you out of your mind? Yes. You told me directly. We had Do you think I forget the conversations that we have?
No, I felt like to put clarity to it.
There's no clarity there.
I felt like after December, Randall started playing well, but RJ started really playing like Ruben Patterson. So they needed a change. But I still felt like we could have got to the NBA Finals with that group. But that's spilled milk. We got this group right now. I'm riding with this group. I think we got a great group. I think we got a great culture. We're building something that's special. I just want to give these guys my best foot forward as far as like rooting for these guys and giving them so much positive energy because, they've been interacting with us this whole summer. I just want to give them my best foot forward, bro. I feel like this team can win a championship. And I feel like you don't win championships unless you put that type of championship mindset into yourself.
Why is the mindset not there if they don't win it? You think everybody who loses didn't have that mindset? What are you talking about right now?
Yes, because Denver had it. Because they lost the year before. Every team has it. You got to
So
lose.
then why would you hate it if the Knicks had the mentality, did everything they could and lost? Why would it be championship or bust if they have a window? Yes, they have to be competitive. Yes, they have to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. But by no means at all does it mean a first year together team, regardless of what you want to say, has to win a championship in year one, and it's championship or bust. That is ridiculous. That is nonsense. Ridiculous. You're out of your mind. It doesn't make any sense at all. No, it doesn't. And to fire Tom Thibodeau, if he gets to the Eastern Conference Finals and loses, but doesn't get to the finals and potentially loses to the Boston Celtics, you're out of your mind. They're the defending champions.
That's ridiculous.
Do you hear yourself?
No. So it's always context behind the loss. So you never even asked me that. Like, what was the context behind why we lost? You know what I'm saying? On top of the fact that, you got people saying, State, you bugging. State, I'm reading the chat. State, oh, you putting too much on this team. Why the hell did we trade 5 first-round picks, bro? Like, stop with this whole happy to be here nonsense that a lot of y'all mindset is. Like, it's a really disgusting mindset. You need to get out of that mindset. You traded 5 first-round picks and you traded all the kids. Anything less than a finals trip and a finals win next season is an utter failure. You have no first-round picks next offseason. You gave up a lot of your assets. You bought into the vets. The least you can do with a Hall of Fame coach who's walking New York right now, who's a living Hall of Famer in Thomas Thibodeau, is get to the finals. You have a 2-time All-NBA power forward. You have one of the best point guards in the NBA. Please, can y'all up y'all standards, man? If Julius Randle was healthy last season, the Knicks would have easily won 60 games. Easy. And they would have got to the Eastern Conference Finals. Easy. Because we damn sure ain't losing to no Indiana Pacers. We damn sure, even if OG's hurt.
Which is another reason why it should not be championship or bust. And it should not be fired Thibodeau.
60 games. We won 60 games. Let's stop that, man. Let's stop that, man. Y'all gotta stop that, man. Because there's you could criticize me for my finals or bust take. The roster not complete yet, David. They traded 6.
Oh my Lord. He just walked away. Shout out to David. David said, David Smith, roster not complete yet. If that, all speculation.
I can't do this, man. I can't do. We traded 5 first-round picks, and the dude saying the roster not completed, man. I can't believe this, man. Oh my God. Oh. I feel like I'm in Wizard of Oz.
Let's go to the so if you guys didn't catch that, I am not in favor of championship or bust. I think ECF is exactly where they need to be. Going further is what you want. State says it's championship or bust, meaning if they don't get to the NBA Finals and win, it is a failure and Tom Thibodeau should be fired. If you agree with this take, please, by all means, leave a comment below and let me know why. If you don't and you agree with me that it would not be a failure because teams oftentimes do not do it in the first year, then you can leave that comment below as well, too. I appreciate you guys. We'll be reading all the comments afterwards. You can expect this entire Knicks live to be clipped about 5-6 different ways. Probably not even I'm going to do 6 clips. I'm sure I'm not the only one's going to clip this show. I'm sure a lot more people are going to clip it. Feel free to do that. Tag me if you do. I'd love to be part of the tag. It'd be great to get that part of social media if you do that. Anyways, going to the chat gang now. We're going to end.
Wait, hold on. My fault recap. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Mel Lieber, the Knicks had 11 first-round picks. They gave up half for Mikal. You said who's taking them our first-round picks? Who's taking those? That's why your chat gave me tight, bro. Who's taking them late 21st round picks for the goddamn all-star right now, bro? At some point, We talk about this guy got no credibility. Who is taking those picks, bro? And what are you trading for those? What are you trading? Julius Randle and Deuce McBride? Man. I can't believe some of these Knicks fans. They talking about me being delusional.
Oh man, what's Killer Dog was going on? He says, "Yo, Drip Moore says New Yorkers want the chip. We do, but we understand there's levels to this. There's levels to it. You don't just get it. You got to go through the stages. You got to go through that. Every team goes through that. It's ridiculous to think that the Knicks wouldn't go through that." Cody says, you traded what you needed to. Doesn't mean it's a finished roster regardless. Knicks 100 says, where's Knicks 100? Where is he at? You win some, you lose some. That's how sports go. Stay easy, my brother. Don't have a meltdown. We're going to be good. That's D-Block. Keith Walken says this guy has absolutely no credibility. Need a new co-host. Oh, my goodness. They're taking shots at you hard, State. But good, I'm gonna stop it. I'm gonna stop it. You want to respond to that real quick?
Keep going. No, keep going. I like the hate.
BDP says
crazy nonsense. Keep going. Keep going.
BDP says Lord. He's laughing. Killer Dog says this is the greatest live I've been a part of. Laughing. Appreciate you, my brother. State says Keith, you relax. You gonna be watching for the rest of your life. Yeah. Oh man, State. Yo, I can't control it when he's over there, guys. You gotta if you say something, he gonna say something back. It's not me. I can't tell you. D-Ross says, State, we climb in the mountain, not a helicopter. He right, State. He right, State. He absolutely right. Why you always want to jump to the top? There's levels. There's levels to this, bro. Why you always want to get the helicopter ride? You don't want to do no more work after you get good? You think all the work goes out the window once you get good? It don't work like that, fam. You know it don't work like that, State. You got to put in the work to get to be that team. It don't happen in a year. You lucky if it happened in a year.
It's...
You're lucky. You know it is, bro. LeBron James in his prime couldn't do it with the Heat. You talking about the Knicks doing it now. Get out of here, bro. Get out of here. Braun was in his prime. He was in his prime.
He lost to Dirk. We lost to Andrew Nembhard.
Yo, bro, man. With the hobbled roster. You forget. Hobbled roster. You said it yourself.
When. We should have went up 3-0. Don't play with me with the hobbled roster nonsense. That's nonsense.
Yeah.
We'll be fine, regardless of what people say in the chat. Like, I love it. Like none of that bothers me. The only thing that bothers me is the 52-year title drought, and I think that's most important. Me saying finals or bust is just not this season. It's for the next few seasons. I'm very confident in this team. I'm confident.
It can't be bust then. It can't be bust if you have faith for the rest of the seasons. It can't be bust.
So we 90s Knicks fans again then.
It's not the same. Why you just said that? And why you always bring it back if you say it's not the same then?
90s Knicks was consistent in getting to the playoffs and getting punched in their face when they got to the playoffs and got punched in the finals twice. I don't want to be that. That's the point. I don't want to remix that. I want to get to the finals and win. I want to get to another finals and win.
Yo, you give no credit, bro. You give no credit to the freaking damaged product of the Knicks that went all. No, you don't. No, you definitely don't. No, you don't. You don't. No, you do not. You definitely do not. Absolutely give no credit to the broken Knicks that fought their way to the playoffs. You give them no credit because you're discrediting them when you keep mentioning that Pacers series. Like you just mentioned, had we even had Mitchell Robinson, OG Anunoby, or Randall, any one of them healthy, we win it. So then why don't you say that?
Because that's stuff we already know.
No.
We're not babies.
You don't get to give the take you gave and not give no acknowledgement, brother. Nah.
Oh my.
Because you are quick to acknowledge all the other things, but you won't acknowledge that.
Because that's not a part of the narrative.
Oh, here we go. There we go.
No, but come on now. The Knicks. Like I've never seen a team. Now, all jokes aside,
By the way, David Smith says, "State, just take the L on this. Take the L on this one and move on."
Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
There's no L to take.
Said fold it up. Said fold it up, State. Said fold it up.
I just feel like they're supposed to be. They're supposed to win the championship next season, bro. This roster is so good, bro.
That's craziness. That's absolutely crazy. You can hope for it. You can want it, but to have the expectation if they don't do it, it's a failure. That is ludicrous. That's absolutely ludicrous.
Under the conditions of Leon Rose being in year 5, Tibbs being in year 5, you traded 5, 6 first-round picks. You traded all the kids. You riding with the vets. We won 50 games with no Julius Randle, another All-NBA player. We should have won 60 games. We lost to Andrew Nembhard in the second round, a team that's worse than the Miami Heat that we lost to in the previous season, and we had better players this season. Now we got the perfect roster. We got 2 guys who shoot 40% from 3 in both corners. You got Julius Randle coming back. He's All-NBA. You got the league-leading steal guy and Mitchell Robinson at one point in last season, who was second in the Knicks history in blocks total. There's no way on God's green earth that you're benching the league Knicks history in three-point makes. You're putting them on the bench. You're putting Josh Hart, top 5 in Knicks history in triple-doubles off the bench. Deuce McBride, who just shot 40% from 3. And we're supposed to lose before the NBA Finals? That's nonsense, man.
Yes, because sometimes that's what happens to teams when they face just as good teams. So let me ask you a question. If I had to ask you directly, are the Knicks a better team than Boston right now? If you have that much of a problem answering that question, then that tells you took too long, first of all. Yeah, you took too long, first of all. And the reason you took so long is because you knew that team could give it to the Knicks on a given night. That's the problem. That's the problem. All right.
I'll tell you what made me take long.
All right.
Mitchell Robinson's help. That's what made me say, and now I'm going to give you the yes. I think we're better than them. I think we have the best roster in the NBA. I think it's a top 3 roster in the NBA. You got 2 of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA on the New York Knicks. You thought it was Paul George and Kawhi? No. It is OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges. They're selfless players. They don't hog the ball. They move off the ball. They do exactly what a read and react offense is supposed to have. They're willing cutters. They high IQ basketball.
What you are saying makes sense why you're hoping they get there. But to expect it, that's different. That is a different thing altogether. That's what I'm saying. That's what you're not understanding, it seems like, because you keep jumping back to the same thing. You can hope that. I hope the Knicks demolish everybody and win every game next season. It's probably not realistic, but you know what? I want it to happen. But I know that when they get to the postseason, the games are going to be tougher. They are going to be tested, and Boston is going to see them in the ECF. That's going to be a very tough series. And if they lose that series, but make it very competitive, I am going to be proud of my team. I am not going to say it's championship or bust. And I'm going to have hope that in the future, we can take that series next time and go where we belong, the NBA Finals. But there is no way you're ever going to catch me saying it's a failure when in all reality, getting to the ECF and making a competitive matchup against the best team in basketball based on the fact that they're the reigning defending champions, I will take that any day. You're never going to convince me that that's a failure.
Like, maybe my words is a little harsh. Maybe because the New York in me won't allow me to say, it's finals or, bust or ECF or bust. I just think that the 52-year drought, what the Knicks have on the necessary team, I think everything is, and let's not forget, bro, like, this is one of the major reasons too. The culture we have built up, bro. within these past couple of years, it's no way these guys gonna get to the finals, bro. How much and culture deals with the players on the New York Knicks, the media for the New York Knicks, the that said teams, podcasters that do run podcasts on that said team, so that me and you, the Knicks fans, who's a part of the fan base, we're a part of this culture. The culture got to be right. Everybody got to be on one accord. This is the start of what I think could be a dynasty.
What you just said? What did you just say? It's the what? It's the what?
Start.
It's the start, not the middle, not the end, not the final. The start. And I ain't never heard anybody ever say to me that in my first year of getting the thing that I needed the most at the start, I needed to get to win it all. Now, of course, you shoot for it all. You want it all. But if you don't win it all, you don't turn around and say, yeah, that was a failure, New York. No, not at all. Especially if they, what?
It's the context behind it.
It's always the context. It's going to be the context. But your context was it doesn't matter. If they don't get there, it's a failure. If they don't win the chip, you see? So your context doesn't matter. You can give context so you're blue in the face. Your context doesn't matter because your point remains the same. And that doesn't make sense.
So I give you a different word than failure. Maybe failure is too harsh. I need to come up with a different word then, because a failure gives you that reaction. Maybe I would have to come up with a different word than to say championship or failure. But I'm just giving it the harshest way I can. But I don't think that it's a one season thing.
And it cannot be bust, and it cannot be failure.
Yeah, because you could fail at something, but you could go back and get right and not fail at that same something the next time you do it. It's not a. I'll have to find a new word, because maybe that's the reason why everybody cursed me out when I say it, because I'm not trying to be harsh on this team, but I'm trying to hold them to a standard that I feel that needs to be a championship standard, bro.
Dripmore says Pat Riley is not satisfied with no ECF. Ask Miami.
Pat Riley is horrible at his job. He is very lazy. He's been horrible since Dwayne Wade, LeBron, and Chris Bosh. He hasn't had a superstar go to Miami in years. So I don't care about a Pat Riley right now. Yeah, you beat us 2 years ago. Cool, no problem. We got a different team now. And Pat Riley's a snake, and he ran to Miami because the Knicks didn't want to give him stake into the franchise. Man, that's a whole nother. That's a whole
state. Keith Watkins says your standards are unrealistic, bro.
Listen, Keith, man.
You and Keith have been going back and forth this entire night, bro. And he says he's laughing. And I said, "Okay, I tried. I'm done." That's what he said. I'm trying.
Listen, I understand y'all. And I respect other Knicks fans.
He says this dude is delusional. More laughing faces.
Let me be delusional. You still my brother after this argument. I could care less about going back and forth with a Knicks fan, as long as we could go back and forth and hear each other out. That's what's the most important thing.
There we go. Right? I love that. That's what we talk about.
That doesn't bother me at all, bro. I promise you, bro.
Let's go to some other comments here. Let's see. Do you remember that just 7 seasons ago, we were winning 17 to 20 games per year, right? Mel Buster says, if WFAN fan brought this guy on radio, he would get tons of calls from Knicks fans saying how stupid he is. Yo, State, God dang, bro. Oh, man, what is going on here? And Keith says absolutely all love. We just disagree. So see, it's all love. It's no hate, and it's never going to be hate, especially with my whole platform. It should never be hate. I don't think it ever would be. My audience loves everything that we do. Loves the conversation. So I really appreciate that. We're gonna take a few more things in the chat, and then we're gonna end the show. We've been going on for a while, and honestly, if me and State probably go for 2 hours longer. it's nothing we can't probably talk about. We make anything in conversation, as you can see. And if you actually want to see like the most, I want to say maybe down to earth you'll ever see me is probably this podcast. I usually get this way when I talk to somebody else that's, either my homie or somebody that I speak with on a day-to-day basis. I speak to State a lot. So it's easier for me to kind of talk with him. But it's also, I check him a lot. Like, I think a lot of people don't check him because of how loud or whatever the case may be. But State is a fan at the end of the day. He'll talk to you. Like, he may sound like he may come at you, but he's a fan at the end. He'll talk to you. He'll talk to anybody. As long as it's basketball, as long as you keep it basketball. Even though sometimes, he makes his passion go above and beyond. We all know State like that. See, Cody says the same thing. State is just passionate. Crazy too, LOL. I mean, that's a perfect combination. I can't lie. That's a perfect combination. Easy P says PR is one that's kept the Heat relevant. Not sure where you're coming from, dude. So he thinks I guess the PR has saved them quite a bit. The Miami culture has really thrown itself out there throughout the last couple of years. I mean, think about it. Even Ant Edwards mentioned it, right? The Heat culture. I mean, they've done a real good job of getting that message out there. So I do agree with them. Shout out to the podcast in regards to that. Melber says that the reality is that the Knicks are set up for the next 6 to 8 years. Ooh, okay. I like this take. Brunson extension will keep DiVincenzo, Hart, and Bridges on the long-term extensions. And they're going to build a championship dynasty culture in New York. Yeah, I really, really like that. And that's exactly what you use the flexibility that Brunson gave you for, not Randall, for that. And that's essentially what Brunson said, right? He wants to use it for that. So I appreciate that. Keith Watkins, Killer Dogs actually says, nothing like a passionate Knicks fan. So again, they may disagree with you, Stay, but they love you. And I think that's something to appreciate.
No, I don't take nothing personal. I swear to God, I don't. I actually like you. I don't like when everybody agree with me. I think that's stupid. Like even earlier, like I don't think anything Recap said to me today was stupid. Like, man, maybe some points I think it's stupid, but I don't think Recap is a stupid person. I think he's very intelligent. I think you guys are intelligent too. I just think some points that's thrown at me is just ridiculous. I think the Knicks is just one of the best teams I've ever seen, bro. And I think we're gonna have so much fun, like even recording going into next season. That I'm excited, bro. I ain't gonna lie, like I'm itching for next season to start. We got, what is this? Like a 2-week lull of no sports, even though me and you, and we discussed it like off panel. You said you got a damn near live coming out every goddamn day this week. Me tomorrow, I'm gonna be live streaming damn near most of the whole day. When I go home tonight, I'm gonna be on Twitch tonight. Watching on Twitch. So like, there's no sleep, man. This is a lot of work. This is a lot of effort. But it's the culture. I gotta ask you a question.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I know we've been on here, so it's been almost 3 hours, but I think this should be the last segment, and I think this is most important. I think we need to talk about culture, and what it is to have a great culture. For me to meet people like you, obviously we met in person. A lot of Knicks fans we're meeting in person through Twitter, Instagram, or whatnot. A lot of people's supporting each other as well. But what is this culture like? And I want you to answer that through the lens of a Knicks content creator and not a fan. Because if I answer through a content creating lens, I tell you it's fun, because I remember when I used to have to kind of make up shit a little bit. Not even make up shit, excuse my language, make up stuff, but try to make stuff sound good, even though the product that I'm watching is really garbage, like with Frank Ntilikina and stuff like that. So, but then the infrastructure of, you didn't hear about us hiring new medical doctors. You didn't hear about the assistant coaches and stuff like that, right? You didn't hear about the Knicks having a new podcast that's coming out later on this month. You didn't hear about Thomas Thibodeau, they have a great relationship. You didn't hear about the coaches having great relationships with the players on the team, or having a build-up. Jalen Brunson knew Thomas Thibodeau since he was a little baby, right? His father's on the coaching staff. You got Villanova. What is the culture for the Knicks mean to you, and how does that help you as a person who runs his own show, and you're doing podcasts about the Knicks too? Like, how does that help you when it comes to the Knicks culture right now?
It's pretty easy to answer that. I love it. I love this. I feel so proud to be part of a New York culture like this. We don't. I think a lot of people don't understand how much the community brings you up and builds you up and makes you feel that importance of being part of something that's a little bit bigger than you, but that you all can enjoy. And the thing about sports is, this is just sports, but more New York sports, because I've seen other sports and I've followed other sports, but I really only feel it or see it in New York. Maybe that's just my New York bias, but I can't help it at this point. I feel that that unity or togetherness doesn't ever come from anything else. I've never felt that unity or togetherness before. Like I've felt it with family and friends, but with a team and the unity and the community that surrounds that team, it's different. And it's different in a good way. Different in a way that makes you motivated to want to give back. And in reality, the reason Knicks Live was created was because of all the fans. And as they saw in the chat, we've seen a couple of comments about it as well too. People did not mind the length of the show. They loved it. They loved sticking around. They wanted to see more. They were very entertained. They liked the energy. They're obviously gonna like the clips as well too when we go through it. So I mean, I think this was good for a lot of things, to get some things out, get some perspectives talked about, but also get to your comments as well too. Because like I said, at the end of the day, the chat gang for me, the community for me, the audience for me is so very important. I always shout you guys out, and I take your advice, take your opinion. I listen to you guys because again, you know, I want to listen to the people that support me on a day-to-day basis. I want to mention again, before we give State his honors and flowers before he exits the stage and ends the show for tonight. I want to mention again, guys, we are doing a giveaway. And for the giveaway, we will be doing Knicks merch. Now, it could be Knicks merch from any particular creator that you might see on Knicks Twitter, myself included. But the only people that we will be involved is members. So you got to be a member in order to be participating in that. We're going to do a giveaway a month, and that prize will change each and every month. Now, I did say one of those months, it will be Knicks tickets, 2 tickets. I don't know which month yet. I can't pick it yet. I can't call it yet. I kind of want to see how the team does and kind of pick it like that. Likely, we're going to have some preseason games. So if you're in the New York area, you already saw we dropped the preseason schedule for the games. Make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss those videos. But also make sure you're a member so that way when those giveaways are active, you are participating in it. And I want to say it again so everybody understands. Right now, we have about 3 members. So if I did this giveaway today, it would be those 3 people in a hat. So if I did the tickets, only those 3 would be involved right now. So I don't want to do that right now. I want to make sure I give everybody a chance to participate. The way to do that, you can see it. If you're looking at the YouTube video right now, right next to the subscribe button, if you're not subscribed, which I don't know why you wouldn't be already. Hopefully you do that first. But after you do that, you see a join button right next to it. If you hit that join button, there's different tiers that you can go through. You can go through the Rising Star. You can go through All Star. If you really want to go crazy, you can go through Hall of Famer. It unlocks different benefits and perks to speak with me on. And if you really want to get more content with me, more exclusives with me, more behind scenes, this is how you do it. You make sure you subscribe. You make sure you're subscribed, of course, but you make sure you're a member as well. And then as a member, you will be participating in those giveaways. We're going to start that this month, but we're going to give it about a week or 2 so we can get more members involved. I'll start mentioning this more, mention this all over social media. You'll hear about it, but make sure you're a member. You can do it now. Hit the join button right there, and then you can go ahead and hit a Rising Star, All Star, or Hall of Famer subscription. The choice is yours, but again, it unlocks a lot of things. I appreciate all the support, whether you are a subscriber, a member, whatever the case may be. I always appreciate that. I know State always does when he does his podcast and everything he does as well. We appreciate everybody, all the listens, everything that we get, because again, when you start out, you don't get a lot for it. You have to have the mindset, the hustle, the ambition, and the want, the need to do it. And State's one of those guys that has that ambition, has that need. And like I said before, it's criminal that he is not followed more on all the social media platforms, that he is not subscribe to more on YouTube. Again, I'll say it for you guys on screen at Be More Like State. You can follow him on all platforms. You're seeing this link tree right over there where you can have all access to everything that he does. Obviously, the YouTube over there, it's at SNYK Podcast. You type that in YouTube and you'll see him come up. You'll probably see this come up as well, too, because that's the link in the description. State, man, appreciate you being part of the show. Any last words for the audience that's watched you all night and gave you a little bit of a rough time, but obviously it was all in good fun. Anything about that?
It's funny because on Twitter, I should be at 10,000 right now, easy.
Yeah, I heard about that. Sorry about that, brother. Yeah,
I had my Twitter deleted about 3 times before 2022. And what I've learned is, a lot of people don't want to see you win. They will agitate you in order to get your profile deleted. And I used to not care. I didn't have no social media maturity. That's what I call it, right? So what I've learned since those 3 times being deleted is certain people you don't need to acknowledge anymore. But also, shout out to you Knicks fans. Without you Knicks fans, there is no me, right? Without you Knicks fans supporting the merch, there is no merch. Without you Knicks fans supporting the Substacks, there is no Substacks. You can find my Substacks, SNYK Podcast. I love writing, right? My last Substack I wrote about and won. Basketball, right? I'm trying to do things that other Knick content creators ain't doing. But the one thing is I always try to learn. So I watch every single Knick content creator and watch what they do. I'm probably not cool with that Knicks content creator on Twitter, but I still watch their stuff because when you're trying to evolve and you're trying to mature and you're trying to get big into this game, you got to learn and you got to study every night. So shouts to Recap, man. He has a passion and I have a passion. These guys are the reason why I work even harder. When I see Recap, for example, when I see him on the timeline, he'll throw a random video up there. I look at it, I'll be like, man, I ain't working hard enough. Somebody going to have to, let me go do something right now. Or when I see another Knick podcaster, they doing something, oh man, I ain't working hard enough. And one of the main things, man, we do this not for the money.
Yeah.
You do this for the love. So if you want to support and you want to make what we do get even bigger, I would oblige. Love the support. But at the same time, it's all for free. You can always tune in. Last but not least, Recap, man. I had so much fun, man. This is a great show, man. It wasn't supposed to go for 3 hours. It's funny because Recap told me 1 hour and 45 minutes. So I said, I don't think it's gonna go for 1 hour and 45 minutes, brother. I think it probably go for about 3. But I wanted to make sure that Knicks fans got a little bit of our relationship. And what we talk about as far as YouTube is concerned. I only got to YouTube this year because once I came back from Ghana on January 3rd this year, I promised my cousin Kwasi that I was going to come to YouTube. So I came to YouTube. Appreciate you, Knicks fans and people who've been following me the past 8 years, who've been following me on audio everywhere. I will try to put a better productive product to y'all. And yeah, man, we got new merch coming this week. We got some giveaways coming after Twitter Spaces. I'm coming with y'all with every single post-game Twitter Space next season. I'm very consistent with that. I can't give you the post-game live games, but I will be there for post-game Twitter Spaces every single game like I did last season. I was so consistent with it, and I love the Knicks fans who was consistent with me. Recap, my guy Troy, my brother, for another mother, man. Love you, brother, man. Be safe, be blessed, man.
Yes, sir.
And that's all I got, man. Go follow me at State of New York Knicks Podcast. Go Google me. SNYK Podcast. And this Harlem, baby. This is what we do, man. Shout out to Knicks, man. Love y'all, man.
Definitely appreciate y'all. Appreciate the chat. Everybody loves it. Everybody saying salute. Thank you, Darlene. Thank you, Andios. Thank you, Daras. Yes, thank you guys so much for being part of the chat, being part of the live, and also supporting each and every time. Again, I can't respond to every comment, but I see them all. I appreciate them all, good or bad. And I always appreciate the community that we have right here. Let's keep it strong. Let's keep it growing, and let's keep it going. Until next time, that's going to be the show. I'm glad you guys enjoyed Knicks Live. We have another episode next week, and you are not going to want to miss who the special guest is for that. I promise you, it's a must-watch episode. I said this one was, and I didn't lie, all right? I'm saying it again, must watch. But me and State, we broke it all down for you. We are out. Please make sure to follow us and subscribe if you're not already doing so. But we're out of here. Peace out, Knicks fans.